He's Don Juan.
Roz, I feel like you've just been under a rock.
Yeah, I haven't heard about the Juan Don situation.
The Juan Don.
You ready to start her up for reals,
Yeah.
Phil?
Are we ready? Are we live on?
We are very very live. Make sure you're all the way in front of your situation.
I'm gonna share
You're
this.
aimed at the
I am
logo
in front.
because
Right now
that
or
thing's
else me?
turned a lot. Are you sure you're at the logo?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
cool.
me.
All right, am I good?
Alrighty,
I'm good here.
and
Two clueless dudes. Post.
Hide your strap-ons, put away your biscuits, and get ready for the ride of your life. It's time for free candy in the van of comedy. It's time for Two Clueless Dudes.
Holy mother of monkey nipples! It has been 2 weeks. 2 very long, sobering weeks of no Two Clueless Dudes, and we are finally back. I am Mad Mike, a.k.a. Junk McGee, and I am here with the Hank.
That's right.
I am here with Waz, supposedly,
Was allegedly.
our incredible producer.
that's right.
And we have a special guest today. We call him Rob the Benton Slob. And he's and he's here to give us his guru picks. The man is incredibly accurate. He's more accurate than Jamarcus Russell, and that's saying
That's
something.
saying something. I mean,
That's saying
I already
something.
got my purple drink, so.
That's true. He's got his purple drink. We are currently ingesting Riot Punch to ensure that our evening goes splendidly.
With a capital U. I don't know why.
You
but
feeling
yeah.
it? Yeah.
It's tasty.
Riot Punch with a capital U.
So
Yeah.
what Riot Punch
Don't
is
ask
is
why we capitalized the U. Nobody knows
Nobody
why.
knows why.
We didn't make a decision on that one.
this is a Riot Punch, 3 4 Locos, and a bottle of UV raspberry.
Hey, Jeffrey says
Black
the
and
studio's
white.
looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got new carpet. We've got a new mic stand. We've got a new on-air sign outside and like signage. And Kicker generously donated new speakers for the inside and outside. Kicker Audio, same folks that provided our headphones. Check them out.
Thank
Tell
you,
Absolutely.
Kicker.
Tell 'em we
Sounds
sent you.
amazing.
Next time I wear them, I won't snicker at Kicker.
Do your best.
D.
Honestly, it doesn't look that much different in here.
Right. Man, so much has happened in those 2 weeks. We got so much to talk about. So the first thing that I really want to get to and talk about is actually the trailer that was released recently for Dune. Now, I bring this up because if you're of my age, and I am of the 37s, if you are from the 30s, then you remember the sting.
You're from the 30s too?
Well, yeah, I am.
I think we're exactly the same age.
Benjamin
1730s.
Judy, hey,
Started
Ricky,
at a
what's
buck
going
'Cause
on?
I'm
Jeff,
37
good to hear
too.
from you.
Are you?
Yeah.
George
Just,
Washington got
Dude, I
the
wish I
idea
was
of America
37.
from me, bro.
I'm just kidding, guys.
Nice.
Right.
Don't take me.
Don't
take
take-
me to 37 yet.
Don't take me, oh
Maybe
Jesus!
maybe like 34 to stop me up there.
But you may remember the Sting starring Dune that was released in, I want to say the early 80s, mid 80s?
Like mid. That was like when WCW was smacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now they've and since then there's been a lot of like rehashes that they've attempted to do for Dune, and they've all been just absolute dog shit.
Like
Absolute dog shit.
like hilariously bad.
Like, yeah, hilariously
Like
bad.
Rubber on. You ever see that one? The Killer Tire.
No.
Dude,
I have
that's
to watch
a good
it.
one. Rubber, great one.
Yes.
Tire just running through, just kills
Killing
a whole
people.
town of people. It's great. It's great.
That's my
That's
kind of
right
movie.
up there with Thanksgiving.
Thanks.
The killer turkey. It comes back like 300
Amazing.
years after like the original Thanksgiving, and he's a nut.
And he's got a score to settle.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's one of the most ridiculous movies you'll ever watch in your life. It's hilariously bad.
It's the breast comedy you'll see all season.
That is not a sanctioned pun. That was not run by production. Roz, can we just go ahead and double check? That was not run by production.
We're gonna cut that out.
We're gonna,
and replay.
Yeah.
we're gonna
It'll be
edit that.
edited out. So it came out. So Jeff has just said it came out in 1984. So the new Dune has come out now. I don't know that much about the new main star. It looks like they went and they found themselves a no name, which I actually like. Now it looks like they also went and made the cast look younger. They casted Zendaya. Do you know who Zendaya is from Disney? She did some Disney shows. She was also
Isn't she the green chick in Guardians of the Galaxy? Or no,
No.
Zoe Saldana.
That's Zoe Saldana. But she is in a Marvel movie. She plays Mary Jane in Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that her whole name?
I don't think I've watched the
Zendaya.
newest. Is that the newest?
It
one?
is. She's like,
she's like Seal.
But
like,
they
she's just
have
like
to
one
do
name,
that.
like Jewel or.
because when they did the
Rob.
first Dune, they had Sting. So
Yeah.
now they've got in the new one Zendaya. You got to have at least one person in there with
Yeah.
just one name,
Yeah.
With
What do they
just
call
one
it?
moniker.
A moniker.
Moniker.
Yeah, that's what it is. Oh, here we go. Come on.
a monokizzle,
It's the first time somebody told me I wasn't loud enough.
right?
Anybody that knows me watching, I was like, shh, still be quiet.
Ricky says she's awesome. She was in The Greatest Showman. Nobody cares because nobody's seen that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
No.
I don't
okay,
even know
okay.
that. What
I
that
started
is.
it.
I don't
I
actually.
actually started the show, but I never went anywhere.
Really?
What's it called again?
The
no one
Greatest
cares.
Showman?
Just-
Yeah.
No one
yeah.
cares.
See, I shouldn't.
It stars-
knowing this guy. I've hung out with this guy. I should know
It
this
stars
move by now.
Hugh Jackman.
Hug.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Hugo.
Wolverine. That's who that is. He'll
Wolverine.
forever be Wolverine to me.
See, but I'm gonna go against the grain here. I hated him as Wolverine.
See, like
Now,
if I
I
saw
love
him in
Logan.
person, I'd like hesitate to shake his hand. I'd be like, the claw's gonna come out. He's like, I'm Logan. And you're like,
I didn't like him as Wolverine, bro.
dude, the best one is when Pete Holmes fires Wolverine from the X-Men.
That was the best.
It's so good.
Your whole ability is to flail.
Yeah, you just have the worst. The best is listening to Eric impersonate that bit.
Oh,
Eric describing Pete Holmes firing him as like Professor Xavier was just amazing. And
Incredible.
Eric just gets all into it. You know how Eric is.
So yeah, so Dune is coming out. I'm very excited. I'm actually pretty excited. I actually don't even know when it's going to come out, but I'm very excited for it. I'm excited to see what comes of it. I'm excited to see where they go with it. I'm excited. I'm interested to see how long the movie is. For those who don't know, Dune is a really thick fucking book. I mean, it's huge. It's a huge story.
It's like the
big
Wheel of
story.
Time.
Let's see here. Oh, they also include
true, yeah.
Jason Momoa.
Oh.
And Dave Bautista and Josh Brolin. So yeah, I completely agree.
So they just
Jeff-
try to pile in a bunch of like buff,
Big
like,
dudes.
American Pacific Islander dudes in there, and they're just
Boom.
That's what's good.
Gonna go in there and lift that
like,
movie.
Get in the background, flaunt the tattoos.
That's right,
December
that's right.
18th, I'm being told, is when the release is. So what's interesting about
September
the cast?
18th this year.
Mhm,
Dec-
yeah, this year,
So tomorrow?
December.
December.
Oh, December.
December.
Same shit.
Same.
Same.
3 months.
Okay.
Big whoop.
So let's go on. Let's kind of stay on that theme of interesting things being done. So the Marvel Cinematic Universe has finally cast its She-Hulk
So,
for its animated series.
are you
Well-
excited about it?
Yeah.
You are.
Oh yeah.
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk. Yeah.
What happens to the shorts or the pants? Do they cut in half, or do they turn into like Daisy Dukes?
Does
She
she
just-
get? What happens to her
They
breasts?
just-
She
yeah.
they just
Or bra.
plop right out.
Boom.
She's just too much green.
Yeah.
It's like in Shrek, but like
Bro, she
Like a
squirts
hot
her milk
ogre?
and takes people's heads off.
wow.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah.
Shoizen.
So the person they picked was Jennifer Walters, a.k.a. She-Hulk. So Jennifer Walters, maybe Waz will do the honor of pulling up her face so we can get an idea what she actually looks like.
I'm trying to. I got to picture her hulking out. Whoever this is.
Yeah.
Especially if she's like 5'3",
But
like a
she is an
buck 05.
Emmy-
Right?
Like,
and
what's
she's
gonna
like,
happen
"Ooh,
here?
ah."
What's gonna happen?
Yeah, I'm curious now.
Oh, so her name is Tatiana Maslany. Jennifer Walters is the name of the Hulk. So Tatiana
She's playing the character
Maslany. Yeah.
Jennifer Walters.
Yeah,
Oh,
her
see.
name is Tatiana Maslany, and she's best known for her starring turn in Orphan Black.
I don't know what that is either.
It's a really good show. It's certainly worth checking out.
Is it? How many seasons is it?
Orphan Black,
Yeah.
3?
Ooh, sounds steep. How many
Tatiana.
episodes a
8,
season?
8 to 10?
I'm trying to finish up
maybe
The
it'll
Witcher.
be fun.
I
Maybe
know.
it'll be fun.
Dude, The Witcher is incredibly annoying to me.
To me,
I actually
I'm
couldn't
through
get it off the ground.
I'm through 3 episodes, and I just feel like
You have no
the show.
fucking clue
It's
what's
like
going on.
it's like the show thinks it's smarter than it is.
Yeah, way.
Like it's like, oh yeah, we're way ahead of you, and I'm like, dude, I figured this out like an episode and a half ago. Like,
Yeah, I don't know what happens after he looks at himself in the stream.
My
I
problem with
stopped
it
after
is
that.
they don't-
I literally couldn't get any further.
My problem is they follow 3 completely different timelines
Yeah.
and don't tell you.
Yeah.
So you're completely going, why? What's going on?
I mean,
And
there's a couple
hated that.
things, and then it's kind
I
of
hated
weird
it.
because then you got like the wizards and shit that are like
Of
they're
Waverly
like
Place?
ageless, and then they'll be in one timeline and another, and then you don't really know what the age gap is there. So I'm trying to piece like,
And then, like,
that girl's grown up.
The weird Cinemax softcore porn they decided to throw in, like the wizard shows up, I'm here to fix your cable, and she's like, oh, you know, it was really weird, bro. It felt really random.
I don't know that first bit though. If you didn't get to it. I don't know. Rise, have you seen it?
The Witcher.
No, Witcher.
Nah.
What was it that when he actually goes to fight that chick and he has to, and then all her cronies come up and he takes a sword that's like as long as his fucking room, puts it through this dude's head, and then takes the whole top of his head off. It was nuts. Like when it happened, I was like, oh, and then the whole rest of the fight scene is just insane. It's a lot of big sword
Orphan Black was
fighting
5
action.
seasons.
You know, a lot of
5 seasons.
compensation there for sure.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's a compensation movie. You really, you know,
So
It's
if you got a
one
small
big-
penis, you're really gonna enjoy
It's
it?
a giant euphemism for guys with small dicks.
So
That's all.
far,
Understood.
all we know about She-Hulk is it
probably why I
is
didn't
going to
enjoy
be taking place after Avengers Endgame.
Okay.
So it'll kind of be a continuation as to,
So that's where it plugs into the
continuance.
storyline.
yeah.
Has there been anything else? Because my brother's way more into that than I am, and he kind of peppers me in, and if I let him go crazy for a second, he will. But was there anything after Endgame or anything even before that that was supposedly set after Endgame?
So after Endgame is the first one that comes after Endgame is actually Nipples on Ice. Nope.
No, Winter.
Spider-
That was a
no.
Winter
musical,
Soldier
right?
guy.
Spider-Man: Far From Home. That is the beginning
See, I
of.
gave up on Spider-Man. They kept
Oh
changing
no, it's
him every
dope.
movie.
No, it's
It's
not. It's
very
not
good.
ridiculous
I like
anymore.
the kid that they took after Tobey Maguire, because after Spider-Man 3, I was just done with Tobey Maguire. The
Yeah.
eye
Yeah,
black,
it was weak.
the snap in the poetry. I was
Yeah.
I was
Emo.
fucking done. I was just like the whole, just rewrite it. James Franco,
Yeah.
Scarface, just moving on, man.
Moving on.
Sorry.
Agreed.
The kid they got is fantastic. The new kid they got is fantastic. He's the Spider-Man that was in
Civil
Civil
War, yeah.
Endgame.
I like
yeah.
the
they've-
kid. He's funny.
They've
Yeah, he's
kept
good.
with
He had
him.
a good
yeah,
quip.
same person.
His
Yeah.
the second one I thought was very, very clever. And what I liked the most about the second Spider-Man movie was the setup for the villain happened movies ago. And they played off of something that had happened movies ago. I was like, that is so damn clever.
For
and,
the new Spider-Man villain.
and yeah, and I don't know how a lot of people missed it.
Well, now you
But it was-
spoiled
it
it,
was-
for me, so I don't have to watch it.
You do. You don't even know the villain yet. So very,
I
very,
don't.
it's
I
very,
have no
very
idea.
cool. But yes, they do have more coming. The first of these projects is going to be WandaVision, which will be released later this year.
WandaVision?
WandaVision, it's about.
I'm thinking Don Juan Division.
Don
like,
Juan
I felt like
Division.
he should create his own division.
That's
We'll
right.
talk about Don Juan.
DJ
in a
Yeah,
little
we'll
bit.
talk about
we'll
Don
get to,
Juan.
we'll get to Don Juan in a little bit.
We need the public's help with Don Juan.
Yeah,
we're going to
we'll
hit
get
you
to
up
that.
later.
We'll get to
Yeah.
that. So,
Where's the riot?
WandaVision is Scarlet Witch, and it'll be stuff about Scarlet Witch. Next would be the Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is already kind of in production.
Right.
But it had to shut down due to COVID-19. So that'll
Wait,
get
the
picked up.
Falcon and Winter Soldier? That's what the movie's called?
That's what it's going to be.
It's a TV series
Oh,
on
really?
on
Disney Plus.
a streaming series on Disney Plus, like The Mandalorian.
It's not going to be the same guy playing
Same
Falcon.
guys.
Really?
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that
Same
dude,
guy playing
what's his
Winter
name?
Soldier?
Mackie.
Anthony Mackie.
Anthony Mackie. He just seemed all salted about Hollywood in general, and just looked like he was like about to be taking a hike from like mainstream stuff, because he was kind of knocking the whole superhero movie thing, and how he's like, just that's the only thing that you could do anymore, because that's the only thing that gets people to the box office, and he's not wrong. But I mean,
He's not wrong. I haven't seen a movie since Endgame.
I won't go to the theater unless
about
it's like
this?
a really, really scary
People
movie.
want to make a movie,
or-
make a better fucking movie.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's just the problem is there's no storylines anymore, right? There's no like
Yeah.
real twists.
At least comic book movies have a storyline.
Dude, you used to be able to write a movie. It was like 3 fucking hours. Like, did you ever see? What was that one with? It's like Brad Pitt's most underrated movie was Legends of the Fall.
Oh, Legends of the Fall.
With
Great
Anthony
movie.
Hopkins plays his dad,
Yeah.
and they're like out on a Montana ranch, and they're
Shit,
all in the
even
war and
Interview
shit.
with a
It's like,
Vampire's
it's like
a
3
long
hours long, and you never. It's like 3 movies,
Yeah.
and it's like just
Totally.
all Brad Pitt just losing his shit and just everything that comes with it. And you guys seen it? I don't want to ruin it for anybody who hasn't,
Whoa.
but
If we're talking about underrated Brad Pitt, can we talk about Snatch?
Snatch is
Yes.
incredible,
Dude, he plays
as
Mickey.
the Irish bare knuckle boxer.
The one
Dude.
punch bare knuckle box.
Dude, when they burned down his mom's house and Brad Pitt's just sitting there, and I've never seen a guy cry more in my entire life, and I was like, the dig. The dig was in there.
Dag.
The dig.
Dogs? Oh yeah.
Oh, dogs.
I like
Diggs.
Dags.
Yeah, Diggs. That's what I said, Diggs. That was great. It was a great character.
So after that, the very next two to come out, or the next three Marvel ones in production is Miss Marvel, which I don't think anybody cares about. Loki is getting his own, and it's going to be Tom Hiddleston.
Really?
Yes.
Him I love.
Yeah,
I think that
he's
is
great.
probably one of the coolest characters, best played actor played.
He did such a great job.
The whole character
What
to
about
me
Black
is like
Widow?
top 3 in the whole. Like,
I didn't hear you
Marvel
mention Black
universe.
Widow yet.
That's not a TV series.
I thought it was going to be.
No.
Is that going to be the
Black
same
Widow's
chick
not.
too?
Scarlett Johansson has a
Scarlett Johansson?
movie. She's got Black
She's
Widow
gonna
has
have
a
her own
movie.
movie.
It's coming out, I think, in November.
Okay.
Really?
Yes.
I
And
mean,
it looks,
everybody gets their own movie.
and I think it's
Oh,
actually
man.
pre. I think it's actually pre-Endgame. I think it happens before Endgame.
Like-
I think it's the events that happen between Civil War and Infinity War is where I think it lays. But it's got some great villains, and I'm super stoked. But the one that I'm the most excited for, that I cannot wait for, is Moon Knight.
Yes, I've heard you talk about it.
Moon Knight. That's
Moon
a
Knight is
villain one,
like
right?
he's like a Batman. He's Batman level rich, Batman level smart, but with a little bit of superpowers and batshit crazy.
Sweet. So
And-
exactly what you always wanted Batman to be, right? Like
Exactly,
You're
a
just like,
little
hey, do you got a
taste of
little
Joker."
powers? You got a little bit of lunacy in you? And he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Who
not
dat?
enough.
Who did?
I just feel like all
James?
I feel like everybody
James
gets,
Anderson,
Is that Big James?
the person that gives us all the.
Hide your strap-ons, put away your biscuits, and
That James.
you're
He's gonna do
listening
it
to
again.
Two Clueless Dudes with Mad Mike and the...
That
we
James.
appreciate you, James. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in.
Powerful James.
Hey, I don't
That's
know. I
that
don't know you,
powerful
I
James.
don't know
That
you,
sexy
James.
James.
I'm gonna go ahead and just say, "What's up, James?"
What up, James?
From Rob.
From Rob.
Yeah. He's like,
Yo.
"Who the hell is Rob?"
You know what? That's a good question. Rob, who the hell are you?
Ribbity Rob.
What do you do? What makes you tick? What are you into?
Sports, bud.
Okay, sports. So you like sports. What do you do with sports?
Yeah, Rob.
I bet sports. I watch sports. I do fantasy football. I don't know. I watch
So okay,
everything. I'm tired of basketball. I'm done with basketball. I'll tell you that
Bengals
much.
Browns
That's how
game
boring
Thursday
sport
night.
ever.
I watched it.
I don't even.
I thought it was going to go over. It did. It went
It
over
did.
by a lot.
Yep, I had the over, but
and I figured the Browns were going to win because the Bengals were awful, and they did. But I will say this:
The bad
Burrow,
beat.
Burrow has a lot of fight in him.
Bro, it
But that
does.
kid's going to get killed.
I will say this. Yeah, he does make me a little nervous like that. I did draft Burrow in my dynasty league, so
He's gonna make-
I
he's gonna make
definitely,
plays.
have belief in the kid. That game broke my heart. I had the over, but I had another one with Cincy or Cleveland to cover the 6. It was
Couldn't do it.
It
5.
was a late touchdown with like less than 20 seconds left or something,
Yep.
back of the end zone. I mean, it was a
Burrow-
grab.
Burrow figured it out.
And yeah, they
the
came back
kid's
and
got-
daggered me. It was one of the bad beats. My first real bad beat. Of,
Eddie Russell,
of the
that
NFL
Moon Knight
season
sounds
so far. It's really the
badass.
first bad beat. You guys don't know
So-
what bad beats are, dude.
Bad
You dig sports so much that you bet
Yeah.
on sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Tell
for
me
Moon
about
Knight.
that.
I try to profit it. I'm basically. I
like
like
we're
to see
trying
other
it.
people win. I think I like winning or being right more than I like winning money.
Oh,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? It's something different. Like
Oh,
I
for
cannot
sure.
have money on a game, but if somebody asks me my opinion, I'm like rooting for that game as if I do have money on it because I want to be able to at the end be like,
Yeah.
week 1 was really good. Had some scatter plays, but as far as everything I gave out, was 9-3 against the spread,
It's not bad.
which is good, 75%. So if you're betting $110 per bet, then you placed 12 bets, 1,220, right?
All right. Well, you know
So
what?
let me ask you this. If I don't know how to sports bet, I can reach out to you and you can tell me what to pick and then what happens if we win.
Essentially, so I have a different system. Most systems in the industry are based around you pay me, and I give you some picks, and if they win, great. If they don't, sucks to suck, and then you roll on to next week.
So you play
system's-
different.
All right.
My system's different. It's very different from the industry. My system is that I give you the picks, you put the bets in, you win, you pay me,
You get a cut.
I get a cut, but only if you win.
Only if you win.
Yeah, which
so
is-
it's safe-ish.
It's safe-ish. It's safe-ish in that you're not throwing extra money at the wall. Because keep in mind, you already got to pay a $1.10 to win 100. So every time you bet a spread in the NFL or in most sports, spread or the total, it'll be minus 110.
Jeff said 75% is impressive against the spread, which is. And John A.
John, how we doing,
says,
buddy? Good to hear
"What up,
from you."
Phil?" So, okay, let's go over some of the games that are coming this week. So you don't need to tell me points wise.
Oh, I can.
But okay.
Yeah.
So let's start here. Let's start with the Giants Bears. What do you think about that game? Now the Bears wound up going out. They won. Now I know you're a Bears fan, but that was the game they really shouldn't have won.
No, it definitely was a
Right?
game that they should not have won. The Bears looked horrible. Mitchell Trubisky looked like
But
he
thanks
looked
to
like
some-
last year's Mitchell Trubisky
Yeah.
for a good portion
but
of that one.
the Lions had some late injuries, and it really paid off.
Late injuries,
for-
especially in the secondary, and it came
Yeah.
up. Trubisky threw 3 touchdowns in the
Yeah.
fourth quarter, came back and won that one.
I was actually
which-
proud of the kid.
Hey, I'm happy for him. I'm not saying it was pretty, but I think it's something to be said for throwing 3 touchdowns
So
in the
how
fourth
do you
quarter.
think that's going to fare? So with the Giants, my issue with the Giants isn't so much the quarterback position. It's really their defense.
Their defense was, they had their spots. Their secondary is very, very bad.
Right.
And right before the season started, they had a couple guys, DeAndre Baker and another cat. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but they got into some legal trouble. Right, sometime in the offseason, some kind of, under the table poker game, and somebody got
Whoopsies.
robbed.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it got hot. And,
Come on, NFL players.
Yeah, they had a couple guys get released right before the season. I think everybody was pretty sure those guys were still practicing, but coronavirus, there was not a lot of time for guys to get their feet under them.
So who do you got as a winner there?
So
Giants, Bears.
That one's a little weird. I'm a little biased to the Bears, but I do think that is a good spot for them.
I think
coming
Bears.
home on a short trip from Detroit. You got the Giants who played on Monday night
Yes.
and did not look good.
No.
That O-line was
Awful,
torture.
right?
The 2 sacks that they gave up, it's a lot worse than
Dude,
it was on paper.
I feel like the Giants and the Bengals never fucking learn.
No.
You need an O-line, and they never fucking do
And
it.
they did not have one. And Bud Dupree and J.J. Watt's little brother, just steamrolled through that line all day.
in the
led to a
comment
couple
section, go ahead and name
interceptions.
your team, and we're gonna get to it. Name your
let's hear
team in the
some-
comment
let's hear
section.
some teams. We'll go over those ones.
All right. So next, so you saying Bears?
I'm going to go ahead and say the Bears. Yeah, I do think that's a good spot for them. I think it'll probably be a low-scoring game. I'm thinking it's somewhere
Bears by
ballpark.
3 or something?
I think it's going to be so the spread on that one's 5.5.
Oh wow.
So I do think the Bears cover that. I think they win by double digits. I'm going to go ahead and say
You think they win big time?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say 24-10 Bears.
Okay.
And that's not my bias. I honestly didn't touch
I know.
him in
I
week
agree with
one.
you. I agree with you.
But I do think the Giants are in some trouble. They did not fix anything on their O-line.
All right. Well, let's go to a game that's going to be to me is a little more
Exciting.
more tough. Well, actually, not so much. I don't think it's exciting.
Not exciting at all.
But
okay.
it's definitely going to be an interesting game because I feel like both teams have some serious problems right now, and that's the Rams and Eagles.
Ooh, that's actually one of my favorite picks of the week.
Really? Who do you
I
got?
am rolling with Philly.
You really?
Believe it or not, I actually got a couple.
Really with Philly? I'm a little surprised.
I actually got a fun little stat here.
Okay, let's listen to your
That's
stats.
gonna lead.
Eddie Russell says Baltimore. Jeff's got the Colts. What up?
And everybody that's anybody knows that
I'm a Green Bay Packers fan.
you're a Packers fan.
That's right, and he's a Bears fan. We're like arch nemesis, but
I did make it a point to wear my Bears hat specifically
I like
today, just because I knew.
well,
I'll
this
try and
is
get in your head
this
a
is
little
the
bit.
deal. The Bears wouldn't exist, and the Packers wouldn't exist without each other.
Oh, so they need each other.
They absolutely did. They were the glue that kept the league alive.
Yeah, if their little rivalry was actually the only thing that got people into football very
And-
early on,
And
the
people
Bears,
may not know this, but the Bears actually bailed the Packers out of bankruptcy
They did.
in the very, very early back in like 1920.
The original owner, George Hallis, who
yep.
that's the
Decatur Staleys.
the GSH that you see on the Bears hats, the Bears logos, Bears jerseys, everything GSH is George S. Hallis. It's the
Yep.
original owner, original coach, original player.
Yep.
Ran and owned the team for 40 years, did a lot to help the NFL,
Yep.
including keeping the Packers afloat, and thank
did.
God he did because we've had a long, storied rivalry, so that's obviously been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That
So you
stat,
got a
I
stat.
found that stat.
Okay, let's hear it.
So it's a little interesting one. So I got my
I-
chicken scratch here because I didn't transfer any of this over to my
One day
tablet.
you'll learn to write.
Yeah. So
Go
team-
public school.
teams that are coming off of an upset loss as a favorite of 5.5 or more. So they were favored by 5.5 or more, and then they lost.
Wow.
Okay?
You mean the Eagles?
Yes. So there are 3 teams in this spot this week.
Okay.
So you got the Eagles,
Okay.
the Niners,
Uh-huh.
and the Colts.
Ooh, interesting.
So the Colts. So I'll start with Philly because I said I already
Yeah,
liked
they
it.
bailed them out. That is a
Um,
true story.
That's a weird spot. Eagles are looking to get back their offensive tackle Lane Johnson, who's a huge part for that offense. It's a lot of protection for them.
So he's coming back in.
They gave up 8 sacks against Washington.
Dude, they're going up against Aaron frickin' Donald.
Yeah, and that's not going to make things any easier. But I think
Do you
getting
still
Lane
think
Johnson
Eagles
back.
win?
Yes, I do, and here's why. It's all in the number, and there's no reason why a Rams team that played the way they did in primetime. Everybody watched Dallas in L.A. that
Yeah.
Sunday night.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
watched it. Everybody
LA
watched
won
it.
that game. It wasn't great.
They
but-
did. I had the under. That was a big play for me that
Yeah,
week.
yeah, yeah.
Under was a big play for me. I think that script kind of comes similar, but that total's 46, which I think is pretty high considering they combined for 37 last week.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that's a game where Philly gets their offensive tackle back. They get Miles Sanders back, their sophomore running back. I think it's a pretty big difference. For
Then it's going to make
for-
the deal. So you
yeah.
got Eagles.
I'm rolling with Philly.
Okay.
I really
Philly
like
in
them.
the under, Philly
Keep
in
in mind,
over.
too, the Rams are playing Sunday night, and they got to fly to Philly to
Yeah,
play a
yeah.
Sunday morning game.
That's true.
So they're going to be a little jet lagged,
Wow, wow, wow.
little delay. Yeah.
So, I mean, you think it's Eagles and under?
I'm going Eagles and over, but I think
Eagles
the
and over.
stronger play for me would be Philly.
All right,
and
let's
I don't.
move on.
And keep in mind, I do not cover 2 or 3 or 1.5 or none of that. You just money line it.
All right, let's move on to the other team that played the Rams here. Cowboys Falcons. So they're playing. It looks like they're playing at Falcons Stadium, or not Falcons,
They're
at
in
the
Dallas.
Cowboys
Yeah,
Stadium.
they're
they're at
Arlington.
Dallas. So what do you? Falcons were absolutely awful.
Yes.
They did not look good. Dallas looked like a team that was still also figuring things out. They relied very heavily on Ezekiel Elliott.
So I got
So
another.
what do you think?
I got another weird stat here that comes in on play with
Nipples?
with Indy here,
Fucking love nipples.
and then
Indy nipples?
Atlanta as well. It was
Have you ever seen Waz's areolas?
They're fantastic.
Oh, so
Perfect.
nice.
Perfect roundness.
Yeah.
Great pigmentation. Just enough perk.
It's incredible. You should be an areola model.
Remarkably symmetrical.
That's
I
what
like
I
it.
just said.
Remarkably symmetrical. I want to make sure that's on your tombstone, buddy.
Yeah.
His areolas were symmetrical.
So remarkably symmetrical.
So getting to that Atlanta game, something interesting about that Atlanta game, even though it kind of looked real bad on paper, is that Atlanta actually outgained Seattle in yards in that game.
Right.
So they had a couple of weird turnovers on the wrong side of the field. They had a missed extra point. They had one where they probably should have went for a field goal.
So do you think they
went for it on
figure that?
fourth.
Do you think they figure that out?
I think there's a lot of things in that
It's
game.
tough because there was no preseason.
Yeah, and the thing for me is Dallas is eaten up by injuries on their secondary or their defense right now.
Oh, they just lost Lee too.
They
again.
lost. Yep. Well, Lee's been done. Van Der Esch is done. Is probably
Oh
going to
my
be
God.
out. And
They
then
got nobody.
And then they
They
got
have
the,
nobody
they got
in the middle of
They
the
got
field.
the one kid. I can't remember his name. Something
Fran Tarkle.
young corner. That's pretty big deal for Dallas. That's looking like he's going to be banged up too. So I think there was one. God. See,
So
this is
you
why I need
like
the
so
stat.
you like the Falcons in that game?
I'm actually going to pass on that one.
You're not gonna no comment.
Jordan Lewis is the defensive back who I was
Okay.
thinking of.
So Falcons Cowboys, you're gonna leave that game alone.
Yeah, Blake Jarwin's out, Kyle Van Der Esch is out, and Nate Irving's out for the defense for Dallas. So I'm going to go ahead and take a lean on Atlanta. I won't say it's a heavy play, but I think I'll probably.
I like Falcons. I think domes. They're not gonna have no audience. That's gonna.
Dallas is actually going to have a little bit of fans. So I think
Okay,
Dallas said they're going to let in like 20,000 fans or 10,000 or something,
Oh, wow.
6,000. Every team is being weird about a certain amount based on how their stadium's designed. But Dallas is going to have fans there, so that'll give
All
them
right.
a little bit more of an atmosphere.
Let's
but-
go on to another game that I think this is a juicy game. Bucks Panthers.
Ooh.
See, because here's the thing.
You like the Brady bounce back?
I don't.
I don't. You don't?
I don't. I don't like the Brady bounce back because I don't think it's a thing. What I saw from Brady was the same mechanical issues that I saw last season. And I don't see that getting better due to scheme because he doesn't know the scheme, nor does anybody else. This is Bruce Arians' first year. And again, you're talking about like an air raid system.
Yeah.
A
And they still
vertical
don't really
system.
have their backfields figured out either. They got
They
kind of
don't.
they got Ronald Jones and Fournette and I mean,
I don't, why are they not using? Why
else
they're
on the
not
bench?
using Fournette like all the time is beyond me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Get
That's
that kid out there.
I mean, you gotta learn the
They
scheme
got
a little
Mike
bit.
Evans, who's fantastic.
Yeah, he was banged up in week 1, and then now you got Chris Godwin who's going to be doubtful with a
Right.
concussion for week 2. So
Dude,
Brady
I
didn't
don't
get any
like
help
that.
there. I'm actually leaning towards the under in this one. I think Tampa Bay let that game get out of hand. I think if they
Teddy
wanna-
Bridgewater gets his first W
Ooh,
in a long time.
That's a bold play. I think I'm going to go with the under because I just think Tampa Bay is at the very least is going to try to run the ball and not force Brady to do too much. Godwin's most likely not going to play. I have him in my dynasty league. I already have him on the
Yeah.
bench. I don't think he's going to play.
He ain't gonna play.
If he does play, he won't be much of a factor.
No.
Evans is supposed to be a little healthier. But I still think that's a game where Tampa Bay probably tries to run the ball and not give the game away.
Try
to
to time
Carolina.
management stuff.
They still might though. I don't know. I won't touch that spread. Those weird ones over a touchdown always kind of creep me out.
Well, I'm taking the Carolina. So we'll see.
Carolina.
We'll see how that goes. All right, next 49ers Jets. 49ers got embarrassed by the Cardinals. Jets are the Jets.
Yeah, the Jets are the Jets, and Le'Veon Bell is getting placed on IR. So he's
So Eddie Russell says even with Casey fan testing positive with Corona, you think they still have fans in the stadium? I do. This is the thing. My way I look at it is sickness is life. Viruses are life. They're not going away. We're not going to make them. It's not going to be impossible. One fan.
You're
has
talking
it.
Kansas City.
I think
This
it'll
is
be
like
all right.
heartbeat of America town.
Yeah.
I mean, you look into the fans in Kansas City. There's a reason why they're cracking the sound barrier with their games and getting
Yeah.
riled up. That's a loud place to play. So
Yeah, got to start trickling people in sooner or later.
You got to, right? We got to pick up our lives at some point.
I think all the
People love
teams. I
football.
think all the teams understand that.
It's a
and this
risk
isn't-
versus reward. Are those people willing to risk potentially getting sick?
And so I wasn't sure. I think that's
You
my.
know?
I think that's my brother Eddie actually that commented that.
Yeah, Eddie, yeah.
Yeah. So he's talking about that Kansas City had
One fan
one fan tested
fan tested
positive
positive.
after going to the game.
after going to the game.
Yeah. I mean,
So he
it's-
could have got it from anywhere. He could
I
have
mean-
stopped at the grocery store
guy
on
in
the
the
way.
guy
you know
in the
what I mean?
tailgate could have spit in his mouth.
Exactly.
He got no idea where
He
that
could have
came
been.
from.
He could have been doing reach arounds and sloppy seconds
100%,
to pay
yeah.
for beer. We don't.
Yeah.
We don't know.
We don't know this guy's life. We don't want to
We
make any
don't-
assumptions.
Well,
okay?
we don't know.
But all I know is he 100% did contract that from some other guy spitting
Yeah.
in his mouth.
He probably has AIDS at this
Yeah.
point.
I mean-
Coronavirus is the least of his concerns.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about Corona.
He's got AIDS. Okay, so 49ers Jets.
So that's another weird one because I think everybody kind of expects San Francisco to
Dude, but
bounce back.
I love Sam Darnold.
They played in the afternoon. They got to travel to New York. Another one where they got to travel east to
3
play
hours
a morning
early.
game. It's going to be a little bit weird for them. They're going to be a few hours behind the Jets, who the Jets just played in Buffalo. So they're just making a quick trek down the state.
Yeah.
Not a long trip for them at all. That one's
And no
kind of weird.
injuries, really.
Well, there's actually Le'Veon Bell's out.
Yeah,
But,
Bell.
I mean, the guy averaged 3.3 a clip last
Yeah.
year. I don't think Le'Veon Bell's.
Who cares about Bell?
I think that if anything, I think that opens the offense up. There's kind of a little rift between Le'Veon Bell and Adam Gase, the coach there. And so I think this might be a chance for Gase to kind of make it a point to say, hey, here's what we can do despite Le'Veon Bell, rather than, hey, what can we do because we don't have him. Like, I think they're going to try to make it a point to give Darnold some extra looks.
So do you think they've got what it takes to go against that 49ers defense?
like
Because to me, the defense is really what makes the 49ers.
I like the +7 a lot, and the defense definitely does make them, but they're also fighting some injuries too. George Kittle's not going to play.
No, it's
Tight
true.
end
He's
is
out.
not. He's out, and
Yeah.
they're still missing Debo Samuels.
That's true.
So that's another big piece. They don't
Debo.
really,
He's stealing your
Debo.
bicycle.
Yeah, and they don't have a lot of receiving options. I think it's a
No.
game where they try to run the ball and not let the Jets take it, and then the Jets take it, just because no reason at all.
Garoppolo throws at least one interception in that game.
I think he probably throws at least two.
Two. Yeah. All right. So before we get to any
Garoppolo?
more,
Janine Garofalo?
Janine Garofalo.
Yeah,
Before
she's
we get to
a
any
terrible
more,
comedian that plays quarterback for the 49ers.
Jeff says, "Yeah, this is America. I can see the ads now. Did you contract COVID-19 after the end of the game, Consarelli? Please contact your lawyer if you have any rights. Blah 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 blah. It's true,
Yeah.
right?
Just wait for the phone to update your app and tell you, hey, you were within spitting distance of that
Alright,
one guy
alright.
at the game.
Bro, I just don't care anymore. So
All right, so we will
Let's pay some
be
bills.
right back.
Yeah.
We are going to pay some bills.
and
We
then
are
we're
in
gonna
need
get
of
back to some
toilet
more
paper.
Incredible picks. I'm going to
And
talk some
so
more about
much.
some incredible movies coming
I
out.
need 2 cups of Riot Punch.
Whoa,
We'll be right back with Rob, and we got History's Mysteries
Rob Riggle.
and
Ooh,
news to
I'm
come.
excited for history.
Here we go.
If you like pina coladas.
Well, do you? Do you like pina colada? Because if you do, then you are going to love the new flavor from
Sip Fizz Energy
sudden crash, 10 calorie, low carb, vitamin B, the healthy energy mix, Zip Fizz.
That's right. The geniuses, as I like to call them, over at Zip Fizz have done it again. They have made another fantastic flavor. We've been telling you for years about this powerful little energy mix that comes in a plastic tube. It gives you 3 to 4 hours of natural energy. All the flavors taste great, from the latest mango peach to fruit punch, grape, orange soda, orange cream, iced tea, lemon, grapefruit, pink lemonade, citrus, berry, and now pina colada. New taste, same great energy, no hard crash. Zip Fizz mixes are a healthy and convenient way to get your energy fix without having to suffer through any nasty taste. You'll definitely have a few of these around for those quick trips to the gym or those afternoon sleepies, as I like to call them.
Zip Fizz energy, no sudden crash, 10 calorie, low carb, vitamin B, the healthy energy mix, Zip Fizz.
Hi, my name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they were able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-918-7169. 800-918-7169.
What is Jesse Ray's Barbecue? Well, it's a tiny, unassuming place with a modest menu of platters, sandwiches, and house-made sauces. Located at 5611 South Valley View. By the smell alone, you're going to know you're in the right place. Come try the award-winning slow-smoked ribs, chicken, pulled pork, hot links, and brisket. The sauce is also something to talk about, as you will want to eat it with every bite. Here's a tip. Their sauces are available for purchase. When people ask you, how do you like Jesse Ray's Barbecue? You'll say, like most people I know, I don't like it, I love it. Jesse Ray's Barbecue is 100% legit. Stop on by for a meal that will satisfy your barbecue-loving lips. Mention RadioVegas.rocks for 10% off your order. Jesse Ray's, located at 5611 South Valley View on the corner of Valley View and Russell. Come in, take a bite, find out why they're so award-winning.
My doctor prescribed me Viagra. It wasn't covered by my insurance, so it was costing me like $65 a pill. That's expensive.
Over 20 million guys like us use Viagra. Over a certain age, we just need it. I found a way to pay less than $3 a pill and get virtually the same effect of the $65 pill. I heard an ad just like this on the radio, called, and for $99, I got 40 generic versions of the $65 pill. Save yourself money and call right now and get over 40 pills for $99. There's no embarrassment here to use Viagra. If we're over 50, we need it, but not at high prices. Call now with your credit card and get the 40 pill special for just $99.
800-626-6538. 800-626-6538.
In times of economic uncertainty and chaos, your money means nothing. You may not even be able to get it from your bank or ATM. And the money you do have in the stock market will go down and down. What you can bank on is gold and silver. Gold and silver have been a reliable and trusted form of currency for thousands of years. Gold and silver have never been worth zero, and typically gold holds its value during economic turmoil. Call the Gold Hotline now and learn how to protect your money and your assets with gold and silver. And learn how to set up a new IRA or roll over your current one into a gold-backed IRA. Protect your money from the next market crash with gold and silver. Call now for your free gold guide.
800-430-7568. 800-430-7568. 800-430-7568. That's 800-430-7568.
Be sure to get your mix of music. Listen to us with the RadioVegas.rocks app available at the App Store. And check out our VIP card, interact with us in our chat room, and scheduling of our RadioVegas.rocks shows, plus podcasts. It's all available on RadioVegas.rocks app.
You're listening to Two Clueless Dudes with Mad Mike and the Hank.
That is right. I
back.
am
We
Mad
back.
Mike.
We back. I'm the Hank.
We
Who
back.
the hell are you?
I'm still Rob.
You're
Still Rob.
Still Rob.
Just Rob. We're gonna call him Just Rob.
Just Rob.
Still
JR.
Rob.
And the big W over there.
And you guys are gonna have to call me Junior.
We were talking football, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to make sure that you get these picks. We're gonna try to make sure you get these picks maybe in the comments,
Probably
or
just
we'll
drop
do
all.
another post after the show and kind of post your picks down, and we'll see how you do.
Yeah, we'll just.
All right,
spitball
so
them out
Niners
here.
Jets done. Let's continue on. Let's get this through. Broncos Steelers. Broncos looked awful. Steelers, they did all right, but I mean,
Steelers took a little bit to get off the ground.
They
Big Ben
did?
looked a little slow.
and he said that he felt like he was hit by a train.
Yeah, his knee was not looking good. He went down for a slide that looked like he was clinching at it. I think
He had that one run that looked like he held his knee.
Yeah. Good big bright spot for that game was Benny Snell, the backup for James Conner. James Conner got
Oh, yeah,
kind of
yeah, yeah.
snagged up a little
The
bit. Benny Snell came
Terminator.
in, had like 19 carries for like $113. Great game for him. Should be interesting to see how that backfield shapes up from there. As far as the game goes, I had Denver last week and I had Pittsburgh last week. So I did great on both of those. Denver was catching 3. So that little Steven Gostkowski missing 3 field goals and an extra point was just beautiful.
Godsend for you.
Beautiful. Loved
So
it, loved it, loved
who
it.
do you got between these two then?
I honestly have not given this game much of a thought, just because I usually I like both of these teams a lot
do
this
too.
year, but I try
I
to
do too.
play them in certain spots.
Yeah.
And them against each other is not a spot that I want to play. I think the number looks right about right. Denver's still being banged up a little bit. They might get Cortland
Yes.
Sutton back, but
They
outside
need
of
Sutton back.
outside of that one big play to Darius Slayton, the Pittsburgh secondary completely bottled Daniel Jones up.
Yes.
So it'll be. I don't know that Drew Lock
Drew
is
Lock
much of
is
a big
basically just a
he's
different
the same
version of-
guy.
yeah.
I mean, he's the same guy without. Drew Lock has probably a couple more weapons that I'd like to have. I think Noah Fant looked pretty good in that that first game, but
Yeah. Fant was a good pickup for
Missing
them last
Cortland
year.
Sutton definitely hurt.
Yep.
And they need that running game to get going. Phillip Lindsay got banged up.
Mm-hmm.
Melvin Gordon, hopefully, looking like he's going to maybe kind of create some space in the backfield. But
We'll
like I
see.
said, it's just a weird game for me. I haven't really given it much thought. I mean, you guys play it how you will, but for me, like I said, I'm playing both those teams in good spots, and them against each other is just not one I want to touch.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and I really want to say the Broncos, but I kind of feel like the Steelers are gonna pull that one.
It
out.
feels a little trappy, right? Denver
does.
catching the 7, but they're going from Mile High, and then they got to travel to Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh's
in
coming
Pittsburgh.
from New York, so they only got they're not in a time change. They're literally going from Jersey across
People don't understand
Pennsylvania,
how
so
big of a deal that time change really can be.
it can be big. The numbers don't indicate
It depends
that
on
it is.
the time of the game.
I think it depends more so on the team and how they're adapting to that. If it's a team that is young, especially in spots when
Yeah.
you're going to Denver, like in high altitude, or changing, games where you're changing time zones and going to Miami where it's freaking still 110 out.
Since how you brought up Florida, let's talk about Jaguars Titans. Oh, Eddie Russell wants to know what the over/under is of that game.
On which one?
Broncos Steelers.
Broncos Steelers, I believe that one's 45.
Is the over/under?
I believe. I'm going to
under-
double check that.
Under might be
Oh,
worth
wow.
pursuing.
It's way lower.
Oh,
Never
is it?
mind. It is 40.5.
Ugh.
And
I
the
was at
fact
45.
that,
I'd
the
go
fact
the
that
under.
Pittsburgh's laying 7 with a total of 40.5 means that they basically expect Denver to score next to nothing.
Yeah.
Which it shouldn't be too far off base because I think Pittsburgh's defense is better than Tennessee's.
Much better.
So that one might be just a Pittsburgh and under. That might just be like one of those stupid 23-9 games or something like that where you're just like
Eating
everybody's just-
salami.
yeah, I'm thinking.
All right, so we'll do one more before we go on to History's Mysteries, and then we'll come back to these.
Okay.
Jaguars Titans. Now this is a very interesting game. Titans got the big man Derrick Henry. They re-signed Ryan Tannehill. Everyone thinks they're the next godsend of Mike Vrabel, amazing, awesome holiness. And then you've got the Jaguars, who have Gardner Minshew and his
Minshew
incredible
Mania.
mustache.
It's Uncle Rico against the universe right now.
Yeah, he's Uncle Rico.
I love Gardner Minshew. 19 for 20.
Dude, he
had
lighted
like
it
just
up.
over like $190 or something. Nothing crazy, but he got the win. He had 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. That was a big game for him.
I like him in this game.
I do not. And I'll tell you why. Because I'm actually one of the people that was not bought into Tennessee with the way they beat Baltimore or whatever, the game script. I don't think guys like Derrick Henry that are bigger like that can be sustainable. I think those guys tend to fall off.
They're better at the late in the year, not in the beginning.
I mean, really, anybody that breaks out that late. Derrick Henry's been in the league for 3.5 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
And I was one of his loudest, cheerleaders coming out of college. When he came out of Bama, I was screaming his name from the top of the mountain. So that guy's going to be gross. And then Tennessee got him in some weird timeshare with like the likes of Deion Lewis and
Llamas,
some fullbacks and some other people, and just would never really give him the load. And he finally got it, and he
so
broke
you
out.
like the Titans over the Jaguars?
I do, and here's why: because that number is exactly the same as it was in Week 1, and I think a lot of people got bit in the ass by Indy, and they're scared of getting bit twice. I think a lot of people got bit by Tennessee, laying the 2.5, laying the 3.
Yeah.
I think both people look to rectify that by trying to. Take the one that covered and the same one. You know what I mean? Kind of pair those together.
So do you think it's going to be Titans and over?
What's the total on that one? That's got to be pretty low too. Probably 42. Titans.
Probably something around there.
I am not. Oh, here it is. 43.5. So yeah, another one just like Pittsburgh where they don't expect Jacksonville to do much. Jacksonville, I mean, Indy outgained them like 440 something yards to like 230. Like it was dumb. Like they almost doubled their yardage. And an interesting stat for that one, it says why I really like Indy.
Eddie thinks Tennessee will get the early lead and then pound the run game like they did in Baltimore in the playoffs last year.
Yep.
Which is very, very,
yeah,
very doable, especially against that
Jacksonville has nobody on defense. They got
anymore.
a couple of bright spots, but I mean,
one corner.
And Yannick Ngakoue got traded to Minnesota,
and he's done.
Jalen Ramsey's gone.
Yeah, he's gone too.
Yeah,
right.
They still got Miles Jack, but it's still a team that's definitely in a rebuild, and I think it was nice for them to go out and get a win. But if they're being honest, you're not going to win 9-10 games this year. So at a certain point, you have to. I know that nobody ever likes to admit that they're,
So we got Titans. You got Titans and under is what you're looking at.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people think that no teams are going to tank, but I think Jacksonville is in full on tank mode with all the moves they made in the offseason. AJ Boye, I mean Ramsey,
gone.
I mean everybody, Ngakoue, yeah, I mean everybody. They've been yard selling the whole team, so I like them for the future though. I like Jacksonville for the future. I like Laviska Shenault, their rookie receiver that they got. He looked really good in that game too.
He did. All right, let's go on to.
So I'm curious, if somebody wants to get a hold of you to get your picks, how do they get a hold of you?
So
it's on the bathroom stall.
Yeah, and there's a little hole below it. No, right now I'm in the process of putting up an actual site, like a landing page that people can go to where the article will be posted. It'll be like a blog. Until then, it's just going to be a personal reach out thing. I'm just working on handshakes and, yeah, I agree. You know what I mean? Just the old deals, like nothing crazy. Just, hey, what do you like? I give my picks, they win, they send the money, Venmo, whatever. It's not too formal right now. I'm trying to get it a little more structured, a little more easier for people to obtain. But as for right now, your best bet would be to ask for contact information from Mike or Phil.
Yeah, hit us up on Two Clueless Dudes. We're going to go ahead and post his info.
We know the guy.
You can get a hold of him.
They can vouch.
Yeah, I can vouch for the fact that he knows words.
And I do not need I don't need your money. Oh.
Hey. The fans came out for you, pal.
Wow, I appreciate that.
You can shoot me a link and I can put it on the website.
Oh, there you go.
Cluelessdudes.com.
Yep,
that's all right.
We will get the link when the
we'll
website
call him
is.
Rob the betting guru.
It's actually I'm still maybe the comment section can help me out here with a name. I'm trying to figure out a name for the page itself. I'm thinking about bobsbadpicks.com.
He is
like
for
that.
two.
I like it.
He is for Two Clueless Dudes what Rob Riggle is for Fox. Okay.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, if I can come in and give a little bit of information like that, I'd love to be that guy.
Let's go ahead and let's go into our next segment.
All right, here we go.
We'll get back to this in a minute.
You're listening to Two Clueless Dudes. History's mysteries. Like that 20 bucks you say I owe you.
That's right.
1977. The Atari 2600, originally known as the Atari Video Computer System, was released in North America, revolutionizing the video gaming industry.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
That was like a big step from like Pong to like,
Yeah,
hey, you got 2
Donkey
buttons and
Kong.
a stick.
Yeah.
Like you're moving up in the world.
And
You're throwing barrels. I like that.
I have
That was
a couple of
big step
those.
up.
Do you?
Yeah.
But I have the 6-switch one, which isn't worth as much as the 4-switch
So
one.
you should know this. I heard the conductors that they used for the actual motherboard was the leftover skin from circumcised penises. Is that true?
1956. IBM introduced the RAMAC 305, the first commercial computer with a hard drive that used magnetic disk storage.
Huh.
And they definitely used kid penises.
It weighed
I hope not.
approximately a ton.
Have you guys ever seen old
I
hard
just always
drives?
think of Meet the Fockers when I hear that, when they land in the fondue. It's Greg Gaylord Focker's little little.
Trevor says it's also
circumcision.
Mario's 35th anniversary.
That's true. Who?
Go Mario!
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Mario, that's Trevor.
Oh, super! Oh, what up, Trevor?
That's right.
So
T-Pain.
Trevor's my boy, even though he's bad at Warhammer.
tea time.
He's still learning.
Tea
Have
time.
you guys
Hey,
ever
so
seen
am I.
those
Dude,
old hard
I'm gonna
drives?
tell you right now, the Oryx, when he figures that shit out, he gonna dominate.
Yeah,
I'm
but
telling
I
you right
tell
now.
you what,
I
I
saw-
am not
So
afraid to
what were you
admit.
gonna say, Boz?
Oh, that's a cool lane on YouTube is seeing like these ancient hard drives. They're like as big as a whole computer that people used to use in like businesses and stuff.
Yeah,
Right?
It's
Isn't that
crazy.
dope?
A great channel if you like the old game systems is Angry Video Game Nerd. He does a lot of great like
stuff.
throwback Ataris. He plays like the old Atari Jaguar, and I mean it's.
I
like,
remember the Jaguar.
pouring
Dude,
soda
its
in the
controller
machine and,
was
like-
massive.
I mean, you remember you had to literally like drop a people's elbow onto that thing to make it land in the system. That was the
Bro.
only way that you were gonna play.
So you said Warhammer. What the hell is Warhammer?
Oh, you know Warhammer, man. Warhammer
War
is
nipples.
a beauty. Warhammer is Mike's baby that he introduced
Yeah.
the rest
That's
of
true.
us to.
That's
Yeah.
true. You are the piece of shit
He is
that made me
old as
spend a lot of
fuck.
money.
Yeah.
Mike, what is Warhammer?
Yeah, you'd be the better one to
You
describe it.
best describe this as a strategic risk game
Yeah.
with miniatures.
It's like Risk. It's like, so you get the little guys on one side and the other, and they kind of, you roll the dice. So imagine just kind of expanding, kind of zooming in on that one battle and focusing on just that one battle and introducing every type of unit and
vehicles, different
vehicles.
characters with different backgrounds, different
Exactly.
powers, different specialties.
Could you relate it to D&D some too? Is
Yeah,
it like
in
stats-
ways.
D&D-ish,
statsy
yeah.
in the style, in
It
the in
would
the
be
style
like-
of- with the dice and the way that your attacks work and everything. Yeah, for sure.
Miniature
it would be
wise,
like
it
a-
would be relative to
Yeah.
D&D. You
like a large
have
scale
units.
battle in D&D.
I like to think it's not, and this is not a knock on D&D by any means. It's not something that I ventured into.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I agree with
think,
Trevor.
I think Warhammer
the
gets.
orcs are way better than the Space Wolves.
Hey, they were. Hey, why? Because we didn't make the top 3 in the last one.
Dude, you do know that the orcs made second in the tournament, right?
I know they
They
did. It was
did.
disgusting, and the
Yeah.
setup the kid used was gross too.
It was.
Um,
It was.
But no, I feel like the best way to describe Warhammer is almost like a more approachable. I don't want to say like a less nerdy, but like a less.
Right.
It's more like a more like.
you're into
Oh, it's
board games-
totally nerdy. It's completely fine to
If
say.
you're
Oh,
into
it's
My girl-
100% nerdy, but I
my
think it's like a
girlfriend-
little toned down from Dungeons and Dragons
yeah.
with the lore and kind of like the in-game fanatics and stuff like the bits and pieces. I know that D&D I haven't played, but I know that
Well,
kind of gets more into like
and
position playing.
Warhammer's
and,
a lot
like,
more
I'm-
visual.
I
Yeah.
like that you can customize your figurines. I know you've been painting.
Oh,
yours,
totally.
right?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I'm a big
Well, see,
painter.
Mike's doing a little something too. You know, if you have figurines that need painted,
Miniatures.
Mike's
Yes.
actually a professional, like legit professional.
He is
knows how
very,
to
very
paint.
good.
And
I do.
He's
I do
matching
all
up
right.
my color scheme for my
Yeah.
my Space
Yeah,
Marines.
you
But I'm
just gotta
gonna
leave
need
one
everybody
for me.
tonight, right?
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
gotta
need
just leave one
everybody
for
to
me. I
take
can
a
do it.
step back because I'm next.
This
Word,
sounds
word.
like a cool job for 3D printing too. You could 3D
Oh, we have
print
3D.
some figurines.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
We
Paint
started
them
that as
and
well.
make-
We
make a
have a
little side
3D
gig.
printed demon prints.
Eric's
That might be
buddy,
a good side
Eric's buddy
hustle.
Oh,
Russell.
it'd be a
right?
huge. How much you get to the next one?
1716.
Bathroom up.
The first lighthouse in the American colonies was lit. Any idea where it was?
I'm gonna go with Youngstown. No, sorry, not Youngstown.
North
What's that?
Carolina.
North Carolina.
I'm gonna say Massachusetts. I think it's
Okay,
somewhere
where in
I
Massachusetts?
want to say was it Cape Cod or
Cape
somewhere
Cod?
along Cape Cod or
I like where your mind's at. You're in the general correct area.
vicinity,
Shucks.
northeast Maine.
Boston Harbor.
Boston Harbor. Hey, I was close. I said Massachusetts.
Here's one for all you old people. 1985, The Golden Girls, starring Bea Arthur, Betty
Bea
White,
Arthur.
whatever, same shit. Rue McClanahan
She is a
and
bae, though.
Estelle Getty debuted on NBC back
Back
in 1985.
I had a grandmother who I spent weekends at her house, and I did watch my fair share of the Golden Girls. I got my fair share of Aunt B. And
Yeah?
it actually became a running joke in my family where you call my Aunt Barb, and Eddie will probably see in the comments, he'll go, yep, we used to definitely call my Aunt Barb Aunt B, and it would drive her nuts.
That's funny. That's
But
good
it
stuff.
is funny. We like to have jokes. We have fun. We have fun in our family. We like to have jokes.
That's good. We like to push people down and trip them and
That show
let
really
them fall on concrete and shit.
Same shit.
Woo,
It's good
really,
stuff. Same shit.
Way to transcend your
Good times.
demo.
Yeah.
It's like there's so many fans of that show outside the demographic.
Alex
of
says
it.
the Drake is coming out
What, the
great,
Golden
Mike.
Girls?
Thanks, dope. Eddie Russell
yeah,
says
way
Maine.
to transcend your demo.
1928.
Trevor said, I'll paint his whole army. I'm so nice.
You a damn lie. You way behind if that's the case.
Hey, you're not gonna gloss in
There's
the
like-
comment section.
Right.
I
That's
got
not how you
like a-
grease palms.
I got like 50 Space Marines, like 75 Corn Berserkers.
You're messing with the Space
I-
Marines?
Bro, I'm chaos. Come on.
Chouse.
Oh, the Chaos Space Marines.
Yeah,
Ah.
baby.
They,
Yeah.
they are pretty sick, though.
We'd love to do what I want to do is I want to do everybody that's got the Imperium factions against everybody that's got the Chaos factions.
Yes.
We'll just set up the whole board, and just go nuts.
So it's
Wouldn't that be
actually cool
dope?
about Warhammer. We have about 5 to 10, or about 10 people that play.
Yeah,
we
pretty
have anywhere
regularly.
from 4 to 5 games going
At one time. Yeah, in my house.
At Mike's house. It's literally chaos.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty dope. It's a lot of fun. It
Slightly
really is.
controlled,
Yeah.
but definitely
Yeah.
chaos.
It's a lot of fun. It's got that.
I should
mean,
paint
as a
Rob's
sports fan,
army
it's big for
rainbow
me.
themed.
It's like
Have you thought about rainbow wolves?
Rainbow Wolves.
Yeah, Alex would like to know.
I was thinking about glamorizing them. I was gonna bedazzle
Like
their
My
armor.
Little Pony style.
Yeah, I
That's
want to do like a
awesome.
bedazzle. I want to maybe like flare out their gear and stuff, so like bell bottoms.
Intimidating.
Yeah.
Dope.
I mean, are you gonna really go at a guy who's
Give all of them the
bedazzled on
Gardner
battlefield?
Minshew mustache.
Because what if he kills you, right? They're gonna be like, "Oh, guy was bedazzled," and he just
Give them all the Minshew
yeah,
mustache.
dropped the
That'd be
thunder
dope.
hammer through my skull.
All right, what else? you got?
1928. Scottish bacteriologist Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin accidentally while studying influenza.
He also found the phlegm.
Oh.
That's how we get the name phlegm from
Yeah.
Fleming.
Yeah,
From
Fleming.
the throat. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because his was PHELEGMING.
Yeah.
pH balance for me.
Yeah.
Strong
Strong
enough
enough.
for him.
pH balance for
1997. Google.com
Glitter Rob.
registered as a domain name.
My
and
wife just gave you a new name.
we we know what happened after that, don't we? Google exploded.
97, by the way.
97.
That's
I
only,
believe it's called Lugal.
that's only 2 years after
Hot Time
the
Machine.
internet was open to commercial stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
95,
right.
which seems so
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah, and the whole .com thing actually kind of
Dude,
became
can
a
you-
big
do you remember-
issue for how they were going to market and how they're going to profit off
You
of
remember
insurance.
waiting like 30 minutes for like one like porn picture to come up, and you're like,
Yes.
yes!
Glitter
And you're like,
Rob.
ah, shit, this is a terrible one.
You're screaming.
you ever-
You're screaming your age. It's like a cry for help.
It really is.
Were you ever unable to get online, but also you cleared like your downloads and history, so you were like recovering like the porn you deleted out of shame? So you could get back on the internet?
Oh, the worst, yeah, is then you'd have to do the recovery just to delete
Yeah,
it.
just to
and you're
delete
recovering
it.
the file because you're like, oh my god, it's still downloading. I'm done.
I'm done.
Why did I
bro.
download 8 movies?
What's wrong with me?
Who was this for?
This is gonna take like 2
I'm
weeks.
14. I just learned how to use a computer. I just learned how to use this too.
Yeah.
Like,
Shit, these aren't gonna be done till I'm 18. I'm
exactly.
gonna be on to whole new shit.
You're going back through. You're just void. Cancel download.
Yeah.
You know, LimeWire's over here just thriving on it, just sucking up all the viruses that come with all the illegal downloads.
Did you guys
I got-
ever get
Remember
caught with
LimeWire
something in the
aids for
printer?
your computer?
Ever got what? No.
I used LimeWire.
I used LimeWire. I'm not gonna lie.
Everybody used LimeWire.
LimeWire. I'll use LimeWire.
Did you guys ever get
I
caught?
got music from that.
I didn't get caught, but I got Trojans.
Did you get caught with something in the printer?
I never have. Have you?
Like I'd be printing stuff, and the printer was in its own little cubby. My mom was like, "What are you printing?" I'm like, "Nothing." Like, don't open that.
Don't open it. Okay, so I'm gonna
Like,
really freak you out. So we had this buddy's name was Vinny, who was caught.
Adam, what happened to Vinny?
Vinny was caught masturbating to The Sims.
Wow.
No, real talk.
Straight up Sims,
Some
bro.
of them are hot. I understand it. I approve.
What part do you understand? Was it the part where they don't know how to clean up their own mess, or how you could just box them into a room and kill them off
Yeah, that
over the
part's
course
hot.
of like a few weeks?
No, I didn't ask for details, but should I ever meet Vinny again, I will ask him about the specifics of the incident.
Do you guys have any weird getting caught jerking it stories? Anything off? Anything that like was like dead?
My dad's walked into me banging a chick twice. And the funny part is I never even stopped. I was just like, "What's up, Dad?"
Hey, yeah, but knowing your dad wouldn't have wanted you to stop. Your dad would have been like,
Yep.
"You keep going," and he would just walk by
Yeah.
smoking a
Get it
joint.
done.
Yeah, exactly. My dad didn't care.
No, I think Eddie. Ironically enough, I got a pretty probably the only one I think it was probably the only time I've ever been caught.
The Dan story.
And it wasn't like a caught, but
I'm being told to tell you to say the Dan story. Is that what this is?
the Dan story.
The Dan
story.
story.
He wants the Dan story. Okay, well, real quick, I'm gonna tell the one
For you, yeah.
of where I got caught, which was by Eddie, my brother, and I was watching American Pie 2.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Nice.
you know the little lesbian scene where they're up in the house and they're, and yeah, he came in and was like, "What are you doing under the blanket?" And I was like, you fucking got me." I was like, "Get out of here, leave me alone." But no, the Dan story. Oh man, that is a doozy. Okay, so there was I want to say he was a friend. He was like a friend of a friend.
I'm not sure how this relates to History's Mysteries anymore, but it's just hilarious.
Yeah, let's just go with it.
Dude,
We're
this
just
one
gonna
is a
roll with it.
fucking mystery and a half.
Okay, perfect.
So we come in. I wasn't there. I actually had two friends.
What
that were
year
there.
was this?
This must have been 2007.
So it is History's Mysteries.
100%. This is a 13-year-old mystery. And so, no, we went in. I wasn't there, but Eddie, my brother, who's in the comments, and two of his friends, I think, were over at this kid Dan's house. And there's a bottle of M&M minis on the nightstand.
My man.
And they're like, "Yo, let me get some of those." And he's like, "Oh, no, you don't want those. You don't want those." And they're like, "What?" He had been filling the M&M mini cup with his seed.
Oh, and
Yeah.
banging in it?
And
Oh,
so that
God.
was his shame jar that he
Oh,
kept by the
God.
nightstand. Like for what? For fucking memories? Like
yeah, what the hell?
for all the lost souls? Like
Oh
I don't
my
know what he was
God.
keeping it for. Did he? I'm not gonna make any more. So I don't know what he kept. You let your imagination run wild. I don't know what he was keeping it for or whom he was keeping it for. But Eddie will tell you is definitely something that none of us ever forgot. Anytime you go to the grocery store and they got the little bowl of the M&M minis, I'll just take a picture and send it to the whole group and just be like, "You guys hungry?" And
Anybody
everybody
hungry?
be like,
You guys, you water your plant. You water a plant with it, and the plant like takes on your personality.
Yeah, right.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Or does it really happen
starts
that
Plant
way?
starts giving me NFL picks from the
Yeah.
corner. He's like, "Take the 7.5."
It starts taking on your features a little bit.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
son?
Yeah, you're like looking at him from the corner, and he's like, and he's like me, and I'm like, "Whoa."
1920, a horse-drawn wagon exploded at 12:01 p.m. on Wall Street in New York, killing 40 and seriously injuring 143 others, with the injured of people into the hundreds.
So it just just randomly exploded?
Did they ever figure out who did it?
I mean, was it like...
You know, I actually didn't investigate. I'm not an investigative journalist.
Phil's more of a.
I'm more of like
here's
a half-assed kind of
Yeah.
journalist.
You're more of like a, hey, here's what happened, and then we just get to guess what happened, what actually happened.
Yeah.
And I think probably more likely than not was that somebody hated Times Square, because why wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's true.
Well, except it wasn't Times Square then.
So Eddie says the dude was weird as fuck, and Jeff says he wanted to test the melt in his hand part.
1810, Dia de la Independencia, Mexican Independence Day, the father of Mexican independence, sparked a revolt against the Spaniards.
Santa Ana
And now,
is one
Mexican independence.
Fun story. I actually am pretty well versed in Mexican and Spanish American War.
Oh,
and,
yeah?
That was an interesting bit because when Spain was losing the grip, and it was really a power struggle between Spain and America.
They had a
for
lot
the
going on at the time.
The whole continent was up for grabs, and they kind of low key let Mexico go to kind of make them like a little more reckless. They had a traitor, a guy named Santa Anna, who originally opposed Mexican independence. Then he fought for it. Then once they got it, then he fought against the U.S. Then he went and made a deal with the U.S. to come back and annex Texas and then sell a whole bunch of property.
First politician.
Yeah. So actually, the original deal that they got was for over like $400 million for all of the territory that we ended up taking from Mexico, and they ended up getting like a third of that because they wanted to go to war. And the reality of it was the entire Mexican territory was riddled with infighting, and after Spain lost control, there was just so many people that was a power struggle. So it was kind of a good time for
Literally
America
a
to start.
civil revolution.
Yeah, so it was a good time for America to kind of just start poking at them. They knew Texas was trying to get out, and then they just kind of like
poking the bear.
Yeah, exactly. So
all right, what's next?
1916, World War I flying ace, the Red Baron of German Air Force, won his first aerial combat near someplace in France.
And it's incredible. He went on to make his own frozen pizza line.
You know,
I'm very proud of him.
Isn't that dope? I actually have one of it in my freezer now.
Yeah.
The 4 cheese.
I've kept
Fantastic.
one since I was 12, and people still want to know why, but yeah.
A Red Baron pizza?
That's good luck
Yeah.
at this point.
I'm not prepared to let go of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an
Except for the
heirloom.
right price.
Right.
Everything
Comment section.
has a price.
He used,
Hit that Venmo at Robert/Waterman.
He used to hand make them.
Just
back
kidding.
in the
Robert
day.
hyphen
Snoopy kicked
Waterman.
his ass, he said.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Big facts. Big facts.
2018, needles purposefully hidden in strawberries in Australia prompted the government to investigate. Over 70 cases were reported, but luckily no injuries. The 51-year-old female responsible for the acts was charged with 6 counts of contamination of goods with intent to cause economic loss.
She went to jail, needless to say.
Actually, it happened back in 2018.
So here's what I
and
don't-
she's still in.
She's still in the slammer.
She's still in the
Oh, yeah.
slammer, and she hasn't stood trial yet.
That's mass. Really? That's
No,
mass.
she's.
public
I
endangerment.
did look at that.
My question is, how did they get by 70 needles in strawberries without any injuries?
I have no idea.
How are they eating these strawberries? Were they just
they were
one
cutting them
piece
for
of
their
them?
children.
Oh, well, that's just immature. Grow
Yeah.
up, kids.
Grow up.
Cut your own fucking strawberries.
1793, U.S. President George Washington laid the
Never heard of him.
cornerstone of the Capitol building in Washington, D.C.
Oh, the big penis.
And being that he was a Freemason, I see that being nothing more than an enjoyable task for the general.
You know, the measurements of
He
that
wasn't a
actually line up with a lot of
Freemason.
Freemasons.
He was a Freemason.
He
Well,
was.
we paid him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he a lot of
Boom,
the
boom.
Washington Monument actually in masonry, that pillar that exists in like the Vatican and exists in a lot of places. The pillar and even the measurements of the pillar actually have numbers that break down to being relevant to 33 and the whole Freemasonry and symbology. If you're into all that, I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theory nut. So if you guys want
What
to,
else you got?
Cool.
So do you know
Yeah.
a Freemason?
I met the only one I know that I was pretty sure he was this Jewish black kid that went to the University of Nevada, Reno. I was actually campaigning at the time on the campus, and he talked me all through it. And he said, "Yeah, I'm black. I'm a Jew,
Freemason."
and I'm a Freemason."
And then he was like, reach arounds are $5. You're like, you ain't free.
And something about the way his suit and the way he had his tie tied, I was like, "This guy's a fucking Mason." I don't know what a Mason is at this point.
But that guy.
Well, now you've met a second.
Yeah.
1965, I Dream of Jeannie, starring Barbara Eden.
Love her.
As of 2000, as a 2,000-year-old Jeannie, and
House call.
Larry Hagman as the astronaut who became her master, premiered on NBC. The show would run for 5 seasons and 139 episodes.
Dope.
Can you
I
steal
Dream
one?
of Jeannie.
Are you going?
In a minute.
1990. This is my last one.
All right, lay it on me.
1990. A 500-pound, 6-foot-tall Hershey Kiss was displayed at Times Square in New York City. I want to know what the hell they did with all that chocolate after they sat it there.
They
Rats.
churn the butter. They churn the butter. They churn the butter.
Rats.
That's dope. That's
Rats.
dope. That's dope.
Alex, I believe that's one of the reasons why packaged food passes through a metal detector before shipping.
Yes, because there used to be a lot of metal inside of Hershey's chocolate. There were people using magnets.
That's
right,
the same
to pick
reason
up
why
cereal.
they had those systems set up at Tower Records, was for anybody buying heavy metal.
Don't forget to
Take
go to
your.
commercials.
All right, do some commercials.
All right, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Moments CBD is a local business in North Las Vegas with essential natural CBD products that helps with pain, anxiety, inflammation, and so much more. Their team of experts can help you with all your CBD needs. Moments CBD also carries washable medical masks and hand sanitizer with 70% alcohol, vitamin E, and aloe. Moments is having an amazing deal for June. 50% off all immune-boosting CBD products for you and your pets. Mention the Radio Vegas Rocks ad for the special. Located on 1311 West Craig Road at the Home Depot Shopping Center. Call 702-463-1616 for more info. They care about your health.
You don't know it, but you leave your shower covered in chemicals. Big Soap says they don't use enough of this stuff to cause damage, but why play just the tip with harmful chemicals? Stop marinating your man meat in unholy ingredients that are harmful to your well-being, body, and sperm count. Start treating your body to the natural, nourishing, lathery goodness of Dr. Squatch Soap. Soap that's handmade for men using the finest ingredients that nature has to offer. Most name brand bars and body washes you rub on your skin are classified by the FDA as synthetic detergent. But you're not a dish. You're a man. I know what you're thinking. All natural soap? This guy probably smells like kombucha. Au contraire, my skeptical friend. Dr. Squatch is the best smelling, best feeling soap on the planet. And the best thing to happen to men since Die Hard. Yippee-ki-yay.
Hey guys, listen up. Receive 20% off all orders $20 or more at Dr. Squatch when you use coupon code RVR20. Hurry, go shop now. Smell better.
Hey everybody, Brendan from the Brendan and Kevin Show here, and I am here to talk to you about the Cush NC noise canceling headphones from Kicker Audio. Now, I just purchased a pair of these bad boys, and I gotta say, these things are so awesome. And to prove how awesome they are, I have traveled all the way to Germany to this really loud and terrible Polka Fest, and I want to click on this button right now to show you how good they are. So, with this little click, and just like that, all the noise is gone. These things are so awesome, and you can only get them at kicker.com. So I want you to go to kicker.com and check them out. They have some of the best headphones around. So if you're like me and do a lot of audio from home recording, live radio, anything of that sort, go check these out. But Kicker doesn't just do headphones. They got your car covered. They got your power sports covered. They even got your boat covered. Who doesn't want a kick-ass sound system in their boat when they go out to Lake Mead and throw an awesome boat party? So go check them out, kicker.com. Tell them RadioVegas.rock sent you. And in the meantime, I gotta find my way home. I don't know how I'm gonna get back from Germany in time for the show. But until then, see you later.
Be sure to get your mix of music. Listen to us with the RadioVegas.rocks app available at the App Store. And check out our VIP card, interact with us in our chat room, and scheduling of our RadioVegas.rocks shows, plus podcasts. It's all available on RadioVegas.rocks app.
You're listening to Two Clueless Dudes with Mad Mike and the Hank.
Welcome back to Two Clueless Dudes with Mad Mike and the Hank. We got special guest Rob with us, and Waz, supposedly.
Allegedly. I never heard of him.
Allegedly.
Legendly.
Unallegedly.
Do you guys remember that Tom
Allegedly.
Cruise movie, Legend?
No.
No, but I do
She'll make you
remember
cry, don't watch it.
I Am Legend, and that was awful.
Yeah, it was.
One of the worst movies ever.
It wouldn't have been so bad.
Worse
if
than
it
that was
weren't-
World War Z.
I actually liked that movie.
Well, you liked World War Z?
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, because you didn't read the book.
No.
If you read the book, you would know that in
I
the
tell
book.
you what, when it comes to reading the books, I like graphic novels. I really enjoyed Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that I
Basically
started
things with
reading
pictures.
the graphic novels. Yeah, if it doesn't have pictures, it fucks me up. So I got to have pictures.
No imagination.
Graphic novels give me that.
So graphic novels were good for The Walking Dead. I like those a lot.
Yeah.
My ex-girlfriend was really big into those novels.
What I was going to say is
Brandy Parker. Well.
Umbrella Academy
What up,
is
Brandy?
far better in the graphic novel than ever on the Netflix show.
And The Walking Dead was very similar as far as best book series, in my opinion, was A Song of Ice and Fire that Game of Thrones was based off of. The show does not do it justice at all. It doesn't even scratch the surface of how good that book series really is. But touching base on the World War Z, the book itself actually delves a lot more
Movies
into...
are always better than books. Trevor?
Not true, Trevor. Bad Trevor. Bad
Trev,
Trevor.
I gotta go against you on the grain here, buddy.
What are you talking about? What movie has been better than the book?
That's what he's saying. He's saying that the movies are better than the book.
Oh, movies are always... Oh, yeah. So,
That's
no.
not true.
See, because...
the one that I will say that lived up close, and it's kind of a random one, but The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I actually read the book, and then I watched it.
Oh, that's a great book.
Yeah. It was a great book, and I actually thought the movie was really good. Emma Watson played that character really well. I don't even remember the kid who played the main kid, but
I
he
didn't
was
know there was a
incredible.
movie.
And there was still chunks missing
Oh,
from
Emma
the
Watson.
book?
Emma Watson plays the main girl, and it's actually an
crazy.
incredible movie.
It's a good casting
It was a
job.
very good adaptation of all the ones that I've seen.
I
so.
loved that book.
So there were the little chunks missing, but they actually did a really good job. Peter Jackson did a really good job with Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But I will say, I read The Martian and then watched the movie, and the movie won an Emmy Award. And
Yeah.
the movie was not nearly as good as the book. The
No.
book was effing amazing.
I feel like they can't possibly put
It's hard, though.
all that goodness into a
That
movie.
might be because I never read books.
And that's
That's Trevor.
and that's the problem with Game of Thrones was that there's just so much content you cannot fit it all
It's
on
hard.
screen. There's 12 times as many storylines going on. There's 100 times as many characters. They conflate a lot of the characters and storylines and stuff. But my point that I was getting at was that World War Z was a great book, and in the book they actually delved a lot more into how each country handled the
Each
breakout.
breakout.
And it kind of jumped to like a random scenario. It would be like a girl in Canada, and like the dad like just started having signs of it out in the middle of the wilderness, and then how she dealt with it. And then another one was over here and here, and then it gets into the think tanks inside Russian government, U.S. government, gets way into it. The movie was just following Brad Pitt trying to save around his ginger family the whole time, and I just was not into it. I just could not get into Brad Pitt saving his family the whole movie. I'm like,
Yeah.
there's 6 billion people on the verge of being dead.
And we're following this
And we're
dude.
following you in a helicopter to save your wife and kid. I just
and that
feel like
doesn't look
nobody would
anything
give
like
a shit.
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, and you got the rat face beard on. Like, you're not good looking, Brad Pitt. It's
Uh,
not like we're over here like Legends of the Fall, Brad
Jeff-
Pitt, Tristan, Brad Pitt.
Jeff says there are a few movies, and he actually brings up some very good points. Shawshank Redemption, fantastic
great
movie. And The Shining, another fantastic
Yeah.
movie versus the book. And Andy Weir, who was the writer
I won't say
of
that they
The
outdid
Martian.
the book, though.
Yeah.
I won't say that none of them outdid the book. I will say some of them did a good job.
Did a
of
great
matching
job
it,
matching
but
it.
I don't think any.
Andy
movie
Weir
has outdone
is
the book.
actually the guy who wrote The Martian. Is actually his nephew.
Oh wow, that's dope.
Yeah.
Can I say
Wait.
Parker Ryan Mondays at 11 a.m. Shout
Parker
out.
Ryan.
Hell yeah, Parker
Mondays at
Ryan.
11.
Manic Mondays with Parker Ryan.
Oh, dude, and you have to smell her. So great.
Yeah.
We love the way she smells.
Smells
When she
amazing.
comes in here, we're like, great, something good smelling has entered the studio.
Give me that smell.
Give me that smell.
There you go.
All right, so let's continue with your picks.
So real quick before I get back into the picks, I
yeah.
do want to give a lot of credit, a lot of props, and a good shout out to all the guys and the beautiful Kelly Stewart over at Wager Talk.
Wager time.
Great site. They have a great YouTube channel. They have a dozen plus weekly shows. Guys that know exactly what they're talking about. A lot of the stats that I've been spitting out here are ones that I got from those guys. I'm not even going to lie. They do all the research. I get all the credit. But honestly, those guys have done a pretty good job. They helped
the
along
real
that done in
genius.
3. Yeah. So
how do you feel about the Lions at Packers game? I know you're a Bears
Ooh,
fan.
I don't. I have a weird thing where I try to stay away from betting inter-divisional games within the NFC North outside the Bears. So like if the Bears aren't playing, if it's Vikings Lions or Lions Packers or Packers Vikings.
Well, I like the Packers in this game.
Perfect.
Lions have a lot
perfect
of injuries on
example.
the
Week
second.
1, Packers Vikings. Nobody saw 46 36 or whatever the hell it was.
I did. I didn't expect the Vikings to score so much. They
I
really
will-
took the gas off the pedal there at the end. But
That's-
they also lost Kenny Clark in the second.
That Minnesota secondary is very, very, very bad.
Very
and
bad.
I will get to that in a second with another game. But that they're atrocious. They cannot stop a fucking nosebleed. And
Also, Frank Herbert's long-winded writing of Dune 2020 has a chance of being better than the book. Yeah. And Eddie Russell says that was most games last week.
which
but-
ones? What was?
I think most of the games were just kind of nobody expected.
Oh yeah, no, and week 2 is great because week 2 is overreaction week. It's a good chance for everybody to say,
Yeah.
you know, the best thing you can do week 2, bet against the public. Bet against, you know, it's great week 1. It's obviously going to work, but I mean, your ideas.
Week 2 is the knee-jerk word.
But this is the one where
Oh,
you get the
about the
knee-jerk
divisionals. Hard to
reaction.
bet
And,
divisionals.
yeah, exactly. So you got games like people who think Brady's going to bounce back and the Bucs bounce back.
I don't.
People who think that the Packers are unbeatable, but they're only laying 6 against the Lions.
Oh,
who
I think they're very
blew.
beatable, but I think
Yeah.
they're going to beat the Lions.
But I think it's just a weird spread, given that they're laying 6, considering that they just blasted Minnesota out of the water, and Detroit blew, a 20-point lead, 17-point lead in the
Yeah.
fourth quarter. So a fun
and
fact.
they've got some serious injuries.
There's a fun fact I have. I'll pull up real quick. This is for the Lions game. The Lions.
They don't smell as good as Brandy. I can tell you that much. With her incredible smells and great elbows.
Yeah, elbow game strong.
Elbow game too strong. Don't fuck with it. I cannot find it here. I guess I didn't have it in my book.
That's fine. We'll go on.
This is why you have a tablet. But real quick, this was the stat that I had. I'm pretty sure I can get it off the top of my head. Matt Patricia, since he's been the coach of the Lions,
Give me that
the
smell.
Lions have led in the fourth quarter in 20 of 33 games.
And have lost it.
They have lost that lead in 11 of those games.
That's awful.
And 10 of those, they ended up losing the game outright, and the other one they tied. So that is the epitome of late Lions football. So if anything,
I said it when they hired him. Matt Patricia was not a good hire.
I didn't think so. I just think that he's a little too rough around the edges. He's a great position coach. He's a great defensive coordinator.
And I'm going to say
he's
it here
not
too.
a head coach.
Gary
Just like Jim
Kubiak
Caldwell,
as an
he's not a-
offensive coordinator,
Yeah.
not a good hire.
I don't dislike Kubiak, but I think there are certain guys that operate better as coordinators or position coaches than
He's
they
a
ever
much
would.
better offensive
Yeah.
coordinator than he is a coach. For
yeah,
sure.
yeah, for sure.
Bruce
this-
Arians, not a good coach. I'm not a fan of Bruce Arians.
Yeah, so on that angle, just thinking if you aren't sure how you're going to bet that game, maybe you just take a seat. I don't know how many of you guys use William Hill or Live Bet or any of that, but if you're on that tilt, then maybe you want to see how the game shakes out over the first half.
Yeah.
Maybe take Green Bay in the second half.
Yeah.
Maybe see if they,
That's usually when Green Bay pumps
the
it on,
total's
so.
pretty low too. The total's 49 in that game. So that one's kind of weird considering Detroit somehow that Bears game ended up hitting 50, and then the Packers game soared over. So 49 actually feels relatively low.
Low, yeah.
So
But we'll
to
see.
me, you got a lot of injuries mounting up for Detroit. I don't think
And
Detroit
Packers
wants to
aren't going to have no Kenny Clark, too.
No, and
so
so
nobody to stop the run.
I don't think Detroit wants to turn that into a track race. I think they try to run the ball early. I think Green Bay has no problem matching that. They had over 150 yards against Minnesota last week with ease. Rodgers was literally throwing it for fun.
And
that was
believe it or not, over 43%, I think it was over 40, or over 60% of their carries came against a loaded box. Vikings were putting 8-man boxes together.
Yeah.
And just Aaron Rodgers to throw over them, and he did.
I think what that game was a bad Minnesota secondary
Yeah.
and a very, very, very motivated Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, very motivated. All right, so next one. Bills-Dolphins. Do the Dolphins get their first W?
I love the Dolphins this week, and you can
I like
write
them
that
over
down. That's a weird spot for Buffalo to come from Buffalo and then head down to muggy, humid Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Miami did a weird thing when they reconfigured their stadium in Hard Rock Stadium. They actually placed the bench for the road team in the sun.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Constantly, okay? So all through September, when the sun
my
is where
God,
it's at,
brutal.
those guys sit there and cook in 100, 105, 110,
That's
whatever it is,
gnarly.
with
That's
humidity. Yeah, I know it's brutal, but hey, that's the league, right? So they're smart for doing that.
Yeah.
But it's actually worked very well. And I don't have the stat on my hip, but it's
right.
it's worked really well
So-
in Miami's favor for being a home
You like
favorite
the
or home dog.
You like
or
the
whatever.
Dolphins there. Divisional game.
I do. I think
I like the
divisional game. I
Dolphins.
think Buffalo's got to do more of the traveling. Miami came from
Second half under.
New England, so they're making a similar trip. But I still think they're more well prepared to play in that atmosphere, that humid atmosphere. So I'm rolling with the Dolphins. I think that's I
right.
think we get some Fitz magic this week.
What do you think about Vikings Colts?
Oh, I love the Colts.
You think Philip
the
Rivers
Colts.
is gonna call one of his 19 kids to go and make some plays?
So that's another one where I'm going to turn back to my scrap sheet of stats. Okay. So here's some little fun stats. So,
Philip Rivers has 20,000 kids.
Week 2, so teams that are favored on the road in week 2, after winning in week 1. Okay.
Okay.
Since 2010, they're 10-23 against the spread.
Woo!
Only 30.3%. 3 teams fit that bill this week: Buffalo, Baltimore, Kansas City.
Yeah, gotcha.
Gonna have a hard time with Kansas City betting against them right now.
Yeah. They're playing the
Baltimore,
Chargers.
we'll get to that in a little bit. I'm actually not as much of a believer in that Baltimore blowout win as some people might be.
It was the Browns. Come on.
Exactly.
So Jeff says the Colts will find a way to break my heart, and they may.
So here's another one. Week 2 teams that lost in week 1, but had the yardage edge.
Yeah.
So they outgained the other team, but they ended up losing.
Yeah.
Since 2013, they're hitting at 64%. So
Wow.
that's a pretty healthy rate.
So the Colts got a chance here.
Yeah.
You think?
If you take out the double-digit favorites, okay, so Indy's only laying 3. If you take out the double-digit favorites, those teams are 27-12 against the spread.
Wow.
Well, 69%. 6 teams fit that bill this week. You got Atlanta, Carolina, Detroit, Indy, Philly, Tampa Bay. Already went over Atlanta. Already went over Philly. I think Indy falls in that line too. I think that's a good spot for them.
That's good. All right. So what do you think about Vikings Colts? You like the Colts?
Yeah.
I like the Colts.
One stat we talked about earlier real quick. This is the last one. Teams off the upset loss is a favorite of 5.5. We talked about that with Philly.
Yep.
Indy was another one of those teams. Those teams are 24-11 against the spread in the last 35. So after losing as a big dog,
They come back.
They come back. So Indy actually lands on a few of those interesting stats over and over and over again. And like I said, that Minnesota secondary is atrocious.
Yeah.
I want no part of betting on Minnesota until I can figure out how that defense can stop anybody.
Yeah.
Once
they get Danielle Hunter back, they'll be able to put a little more pressure on the quarterback, but it's going to be a few weeks.
Dalvin Cook's going to run up, but keep in mind, Colts have Darius Leonard, who's a disgusting linebacker who actually won Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year with over 160 tackles.
They're kind of
They're
underrated
sneaky,
at
talented,
defense.
even team. They're not really too top heavy at any one position, but I think that they're built to beat a team like Minnesota, especially when they're
Washington
traveling.
Cardinals.
Pass.
Yeah, that's
That-
just both are junk teams to me.
I had Washington week 1. I had the under in
That's
Arizona.
right. Two clueless dudes, get your sticker now. Let
Yeah.
us know. We'll send you one. Ravens Texans.
That's like I said that one earlier. That one's a bit of a weird one with.
I really love Deshaun Watson. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
I love Deshaun Watson. I own him in my dynasty league.
I own him. I own him.
Okay, so in all reality, Baltimore was not really tested. They only outgained Cleveland 381 to 306 in that game.
Right.
So
They just had better position.
38 to 6, not as what it said. Okay, it ended up.
I'll bring you one, Jeff. I'm interested to see that. I think the Texans kind of got a raw deal. I'm excited to see them.
They both punted 3 times. Cleveland lost a turnover battle 3-1.
And that's what kills you.
The Texans get 10 days of rest. So they played Kansas City on a Thursday.
I
So
like
they
the
get that
Texans in
extra
this game.
piece of rest. They get to come home. They get to relax, bang their wives. Do
No
the work.
Hopkins, but that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Brandon Cooks is still a guy that's had over 1,000 yards everywhere he's played. So I don't think that's something that's just going to never happen. I just think it's a matter of time. Kansas City, people don't realize this. everybody likes to think shootout or that everybody should score in Kansas City, this and that. They have the 6th ranked secondary in the NFL last year.
Yeah, their sixth
They were
like
sneaky good.
Yeah.
So, like, that's not a game that I just
And
thought
they play-
Houston was going to walk into. I did have Houston catching the 8.5. That was one of my 3 losses for week 1. I did think it was a little bit of an overreaction. I should have been smarter and played the number, but
So what do you think, Texans, Ravens? Who wins this game?
I'm taking the Texans, and I think probably overall, if you look at the Baltimore overall rushing stats, they all look good because of Lamar. If you actually look at their running backs,
the running
Mark
backs are
Ingram, J.K. Dobbins, and Gus Edwards combined, 21 carries for 68
Yeah,
yards.
they're
That's only
garbage.
3-4 yards a clip. So they were not actually moving the ball. They got a couple of little easy turnovers from Cleveland.
All right.
I don't think that translates over in the
Flash
next week.
round. We're going to do this real quick. Chiefs, Chargers, who you got?
Pass.
Okay. Patriots, Seahawks, who you got?
Under. Both teams traveling from the East Coast. Total's 45. Seattle threw up 38 last week. Why is the total 45? It's going to be an under game. Both teams run the ball a lot. And I think they'll both run the ball a lot in that one, and I'll take the under. I won't bet against
team?
Belichick.
You'll just take it. You'll just take
Yeah,
the
just
under.
give me the under, yeah.
Saints, Raiders.
That's another tough one. Mike Thomas is hurt.
Yep.
He's done. He's done for at least a handful of weeks.
A few weeks.
That's going to change New Orleans' game script a little bit. The Raiders didn't do a whole lot good other than run the ball with Josh Jacobs last week.
Yeah.
And that was Carolina.
Yeah.
So I think their game
And they
script stays
used
the
Pert
same.
Plus.
Yeah. If I had to make a plan, I
People
would
don't know
say
that.
the under, but I'm not leaning too heavily because I still think the total's a little high for Mike Thomas being out.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to look at the under,
Both teams soared over in week 1 with 37-23 for Tampa Bay New Orleans winning, and then Raiders won 34-30. So they both soared over that number that it's at 49. So I think they're going to draw some action. It's over on a Monday night. But
All right. So let's go ahead. We're going to pay some bills. When we get back, we got some incredible news to get to, some stuff that will blow your mind. And I think he's got a revenge. Is that right? No, he does not. He's got news. Do you got news?
I have news.
He's
My
got
doctor
news.
prescribed me Viagra. It wasn't covered by my insurance, so it was costing me like $65 a pill. That's expensive.
Over 20 million guys like us use Viagra. Over a certain age, we just need it. I found a way to pay less than $3 a pill and get virtually the same effect of the $65 pill. I heard an ad just like this on the radio, called, and for $99, I got 40 generic versions of the $65 pill. Save yourself money and call right now and get over 40 pills for $99. There's no embarrassment here to use Viagra. If we're over 50, we need it, but not at high prices. Call now with your credit card and get the 40 pill special for just $99.
800-626-6538. 800-626-6538.
Been trying to get rid of your stubborn belly fat, but it doesn't want to leave you? Or maybe you want to get that extra ripped look. Now you can reach your goals the keto way. Ketosis is the metabolic state where your body burns fat for energy. And the best way to turn your body into a fat-burning, weight-losing machine is with Advanced Keto Plus. And right now, for our radio listeners only, you can get 2 bottles free when you order 2 bottles. You get to try out keto at our best discount ever. Plus, call now and we will also send you a free 28-day meal plan keto ebook with your first order. Burn your stubborn belly fat and get ripped today the keto way. Call right now to order. Buy 2 bottles for only $49.99 each and get 2 bottles free.
800-417-2119. 800-417-2119.
When the weight of the world is on your back and your head is caving in, life has no meaning, gone off track. You feel like sleeping in. There's a nectar from the gods that you left undiscovered. Just mix it with water and you will see as if this is your destiny. Zephyrs, zephyrs, zephyrs. As if this is your destiny. Zephyrs, zephyrs.
RadioVegas.rocks app available at the App Store. And check out our VIP card, interact with us in our chat room, and scheduling of our RadioVegas.rocks shows, plus podcasts. It's all available on RadioVegas.rocks app.
You're listening to Two Clueless Dudes with Mad Mike and the Hank.
Bro, you know it. We are back. And what do we got?
We got news.
You're listening to Two Clueless Dudes. It's news, motherfucker.
That's right, we got news. So the first thing I'm going to start off with is something that happened about a week ago, but I think you can understand.
Instead of the
Phillies,
show.
Zach Wheeler, a pitcher for the Phillies, scratched from start after hurting his nail while putting on his pants.
What the fuck?
Or like rip a toenail out?
I don't know, but he hurt his nail so
Snagged
bad,
his nail, and
so bad that he couldn't play sports.
So, so pitchers have a weird way of gripping the ball, though. So if you have a bad like cuticle or something and it's affecting the way that you can rotate it, I could totally get that. They're not going to force a guy at a 60-game season to go out and play when he's not ready.
Maybe
every,
they should.
Every game counts.
Maybe they should.
Does he? What is
He's
what
sick.
Is,
Would
what do
Wild
you-
Zach
would
Wheeler.
Wild
What do you
Thing
need?
not come out?
Yeah.
Huh? Would Wild Thing not come out?
I want to see She-Hulk come out.
What?
I
What
mean,
do
we
you?
got what's Noah Syndergaard? They call him Thor, right?
Thor.
Yeah, Noah Syndergaard's Thor. So maybe now that Zach Wheeler gets traded away to Philly, maybe he could just be She-Hulk.
She-Thor.
So they paid this guy.
Sheeler. Zach Sheeler.
Zach Sheeler. They paid this guy $118 million, and he hurt the nail on his middle finger, and because of that, he could not play. There are football players that play on like torn ACLs.
There's
And
hockey
this dude-
players that play without teeth.
Yeah, and this dude hurt his nail.
We're talking about baseball.
Is making $118 million, and went no,
Not today.
not today.
I can't. Maybe.
Are you
So
serious?
So here's the thing about Zach Wheeler. He was traded to the Phillies from the Mets. The Mets refused to give him a contract. And
Can you blame him? The guy can't take an injury.
He's pitched.
can't even put his pants on, bro.
Fucking hurt his
he can't-
goddamn nail putting on his pants.
I mean, the guy broke a nail, literally. Textbook, literally on the injury report as broken nail as you were getting dressed for the game. That's about as bad as it gets.
That's about as bad as it gets.
But the guy has made it a point to prove himself worthy. So far in the MLB in this season, Zach Wheeler is 4-0 with a 2.62 ERA, meaning that he allows 2.6 earned runs per 9 innings.
That's
so
amazing.
That's pretty good. Meaning per start, he's probably giving up like 1 or 2 in average. He's got a whip of 108. That means it's a walks times hit divided by innings pitch. It means it's a pretty good indicator that he's doing a pretty good job. He's only given up 3 homers in 58 innings. So I think Zach Wheeler, break all the fucking nails you want, kid.
I know,
You do whatever
obviously
the hell
it works for you.
Honestly, whatever.
I would highly
floats-
recommend a manicure pedicure before every game.
I'm
then.
thinking neon nail polish just to make it a point.
I
Like
mean,
when
you
you
don't-
go out, you just toss a no hitter with neon nail polish after
Nice.
you tore a
Right.
cuticle.
Boom.
Yeah.
That's
What
a
do you got?
comeback,
That
yeah.
makes
That'd
you
be
a boss.
nasty.
What do you got?
Yeah.
You a boss. All
Nothing
right.
fills the cup like a no hitter with neon nail polish on.
Well, I got a news story.
All right.
Grammy isn't worth the piss it sits in. This is in reference to my good friend Kanye West.
Beyonce should have won it.
Trying to do his Kanye best.
Beyonce should have got it. Hey,
After-
give me your mic.
You can't steal my mic. I'm trying to talk.
What up, T-Swizzle?
After a long series of tweets in which the rapper and music producer Kanye West ranted and criticized music labels over their ownership of rights to music, artist music, he shared a video of himself urinating on a Grammy Award.
Dope.
He had tweeted saying 90% of the record contracts on the planet are still on a royalty. A standard record deal is a trap to never
is.
100%.
have you recoup.
It is.
100%.
Yeah.
There's all these hidden costs, like the distribution fees,
Yep.
many labels put in their contracts to make even more money off your work without even trying.
Kesha's a pretty good example of that. Kesha was trapped underneath her label, and the guy who was actually her manager had sexually assaulted her.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And so she was buried up to her neck in
Dr. Luke.
nonsense. Yeah. and so he actually owned all of her music. And I mean, these artists literally get forced into like, hey, you got 4 more records to produce, and you're not gonna make shit.
Yeah.
You're gonna you made what
Nothing.
8 million the last 5 years?
Yeah.
Great. Make
You'll
me
be-
4 more albums and shut your mouth.
This is how you wind up with those bands that wind up touring their entire fucking life.
That award is
because they
dripping.
can't.
Yeah.
That's the only way. Because this is the thing.
Nickelback.
This is how they get you. Like they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take care of you. Here's
Nickelback's
$1 million.
like, Spider-Man's gonna pay the bills.
They're like, here's $1 million. But then what they don't tell you is, oh, by the way, that $1 million, it's not money for you. It's a loan.
Yeah.
I mean, they do
And
it with athletes too.
that lobster dinner we took you to, yeah, you actually bought that, and we're just putting that as to what you owe us.
Yeah.
So they screw you royally on your royalties.
I mean, that goes all through to actors, and it kind of bleeds into athletes too, because
Phil Gerson, we're still live, buddy. You're doing good.
you had a ton of athletes back before they kind of reset the market and kind of settled in.
Colby says that award is dripping with urine.
Yes,
It's
wet.
In a series of tweets, West has criticized Universal Records and Sony and even compared the music industry to slave ship.
Yep.
In Ye's tweet, he said, I forgive everyone from the
Ye.
music industry that is involved with modern-day slavery. Vengeance is only the Lord's. Obviously, people were shocked, and some of them took Kanye to task for disrespecting the award. Diane Warren responded to his tweet, how vile and disrespectful of you. This was given to you by your peers out of respect for your work, and you literally pissing on them.
No, it wasn't.
I've won 1 Grammy, and I'm forever grateful and humble that my peers found me worthy of it. He's since provided over 30 million of his Twitter followers with Randall Lane of Forbes magazine's personal cell phone number, dubbing him a white supremacist.
Yeah. So this is the thing. I completely actually agree with Kanye here.
100%.
And him peeing on it, it's his.
Well,
Do
is it
whatever the hell you
Diane
want.
Henderson? She probably got that award back in like '62.
Yeah.
When it mattered.
Eddie
And
Russell
nowadays
says,
it's a
saw that
popularity
today?
contest based on record sales. That's all
Jay-Z's
it is.
streaming service. Jay-Z has a streaming service that pays more than anyone so far. Spotify and Pandora screw artists.
Jay-Z can suck my left because I don't give a shit about Jay-Z.
Titles,
or
higher
Beyonce.
quality,
They
too.
could both get fucked, honestly.
So a mysterious giant safe appeared in a farmer's field in upstate New York.
Whoa.
Aliens.
So the residents of a
Aliens.
small town
Hey,
yeah.
That's my first thought, right?
Residents in a small town of upstate New York have 2 questions on their minds. How did the safe end up in the middle of a farmer's field, and what could be inside? The safe mysteriously appeared on the field of Kirk Mathis Farm in Barre, New York.
B-A-R-R?
B-A-R-R-E.
Oh, that's just for the fans.
A
I just want to
beret.
make sure if you guys want to Google it. Sorry, Loogle it.
Loogle it.
Gotta Loogle it.
And the safe had a note attached saying
Go fuck
whoever could open it could keep what's inside.
Oh, the plot
It could have
thickens.
millions of dollars. It
That
could have
isn't-
confetti.
That is intriguing as it gets. It's like the D.B. Cooper story. If you could ever find the treasure that nobody even knows if it existed, then
Right, and to make it better,
Could be
the
a
local
story.
authorities tried to crack the safe and couldn't.
What?
really.
They took a sledgehammer to it, knocked off the dial and handle. They worked on the hinges, kind of beat it up.
Well,
That's
and,
why they
that's
did
not
try to
gonna
crack it. They
I
just
mean, when did they
broke it.
when did
Yeah,
they
they
try to
try-
crack it? 1912?
yeah,
like
no
they're over here like
stethoscope.
Jesus.
they're over here like with like a hammer and sickle, and they're like,
Yeah, no locksmith. No.
guess we can't crack it.
This-
Guess
this
we'll never
safe-
know what's inside.
This isn't like a little safe. This safe has got to be like 7-8 feet by like 5 feet.
It's a gun
massive-
safe.
It's a
Fine.
massive fucking safe.
Fine. What the fuck's in the
Huge.
safe?
No
when
one's
was it
drilling
found?
out the lock. This is
How
clumsy.
many people are still in there?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. How many
August 20th.
Wayfair children are hiding inside of that safe? That's what I want to
'cause you
know.
can
Whose
drill.
shipment never got picked up in the middle of a crop field? They're like, hey, your Wayfair kids out there in the crop field. I ain't going out there. Why? Fucking
What's
aliens,
the last
bro.
thing?
They locked them in a safe. I don't even know what they're doing.
What is the last thing you would do if you had drugs in the car?
Pass.
Throw them out the window?
I'm gonna tell you the last.
Who
thing
are
do-
you?
It depends who you are.
Why are you asking so many questions?
The last thing you do if you had 260 kilos of drugs in your car or in your van
Do them all.
would be to crash into a police officer.
Yep. Probably not the play.
So a man has been jailed after he crashed into 2 parked police cars in Sydney's northwest,
That's a bad day.
leading to discovery of hundreds of kilograms of crystal methamphetamine in the back of his van.
You know what it was? Is he French fried when he should have pizzaed.
Yeah, you know what?
If you do that, you're gonna have a bad time.
You know what?
So I heard.
NWA said a long time
Hey, you
ago,
got a
you
little-
never
you got a little
get
shit right there,
high
dude.
on
There's
your
a
own
screenshot.
supply.
There's a screenshot
Hey,
still
that's 10
of
crack
the
commandments.
CCTV footage.
That's the 10 crack commandments.
It's true. It's true.
Never
Little
get
Biggie.
high on your own
Little small,
supplies. Rule number one.
Biggie Smalls. Yeah.
I just
Yes,
I
sir.
want to describe the scene of this photo. So of this photo in Sydney, Australia, there is a minivan, and he is obviously scraping along 2 different police officers. What's so hilarious is the street is completely empty. There are no other moving vehicles.
Zero
on
vehicles
the road.
on the road besides the 2 police officers.
I mean, there are other vehicles on the road, but none that are moving. They are all parked except for the van.
Ooh.
Okay. There it is. There it is. Yep. Oh look, we might actually even be able to get the actual video here.
Are we? You
Here it
guys
is.
wanna
Here
play
it comes.
that?
Look at this.
Here he comes.
Boom!
Oh, clumsy.
Dinked him.
Bounce,
bro, look
bounce.
at. He had the entire road, bro. He had the entire.
He squished that cop car in far, too.
And
Yep.
he 2-pieced him. He gave him the KFC treatment.
And
That was not
$200 million worth of crystal meth.
cool. Wow.
And he bounced off of a parked fucking cop car with nobody else on the street.
Never get high on
This-
your own supply.
That is exactly
Classy.
why
Yeah.
I'm over here taking notes.
the best dealers are the ones that don't.
Maybe keep 195 pounds in the whip just for a little bit of weight transfer. I'm trying to count the logistics over here.
Yeah.
I'm over here counting. I'm like,
Homie-
hey,
homie
how
didn't
many
check his
pounds
ballast,
per
bro.
square inch per? What was he hitting G3 right there when he turned a little bit?
I'll tell you what. That's the good thing about Cadillac
Yeah.
is they have those air suspensions.
Homie didn't check
so
his
you can't
balance.
tell whether or not you're loaded down or
The
not.
best thing about Cadillac is Matthew McConaughey's horrible commercials.
That's Buick.
Oh, it is, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. They're all the same.
All
to
right.
me.
So
Wild
have you
turkey,
ever looked up the
same
the Scottish
shit. Drinking
Wikipedia
and
site?
driving.
There's a Scottish Wikipedia?
There
it's
is.
different.
And it happens.
Or you go on it. Tell me what the. Give me the link.
There are 10,000s of
Dunks.
articles on it. Okay, 10,000s of articles on Scott's Wikipedia. But they were written by someone who had no idea of the language. Okay? In an extraordinary and somewhat devastating discovery, it turns out virtually the entire Scots version of Wikipedia, comprising of more than 57,000 articles, was written, edited, and overseen by a Nathan who clearly had the slightest idea about the language.
Oops.
The user is not only a prolific contributor, they are an administrator of sco.wikipedia.org, having created, modified, or guided the vast majority of its pages in more than 200,000 edits.
He doesn't even got a freaking grip on the tongue.
The result is tens of thousands of articles in English with the occasional and often ridiculous letter changes, such as replacing a Y with 2 E's.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. Someone doing a bad impression of Scottish accent and writing it down phonetically is the chief maintainer of the online Encyclopedia Scots edition. Okay?
That's so bad.
And although he has been carrying on for the best part of a decade, the world was mostly oblivious to it all until today.
Of course they were.
When one Redditor finally had enough of the terrible Scots and decided to look behind the curtain. Then in quotes, people embroiled in linguistic debates about Scots often use it as evidence that Scots isn't a language. And if it was an accurate representation, they'd probably be right, noted the Reddit sleuth. It uses almost no Scots vocabulary. What little it does use is usually incorrect, and the grammar is always conforms to the standard English, not Scots. So I'm going to go ahead and give you I'm going to give you an example of what he's written down. The Scots Wikipedia, however, reads like the work of a tourist who attends a Burns night, had one too many, and started channeling their inner imagined ancestors all over the internet while occasionally glancing at the online Scots dictionary in another browser tab. Just 2 examples. A village is a clustered human settlement or community, larger than a hamlet but smaller than a town. A population ranging fra de fewer de 100 to a few thousand, sometimes tens of thousands.
If you really want to
That's how it's written.
If you really want to drive home,
I'm trying to do my best phonetic version. In Greek mythology, the Minotaur was a creature with the head of a bull and the body of a man, or as described by Roman poet Ovid, a being part man, part bull. The Minotaur was eventually killed by the Athenians' hero Theseus.
So it's
they
essentially
literally tried to phonetically make it sound that way.
It's essentially Disney's Luck of the Irish, is what it is.
It's kinda what it's
like
branded.
overblown out. Who gave your man control of the script?
The script.
Yeah, hey, by the way, one of the worst Scottish accents from somebody, not me. I'm not Scottish, just for a heads up for everybody out there. I'm not Scottish. I got a cousin named Scott. It's about as close as it gets.
Mad Cal 32 comes in saying drinking the truly icy, obviously talking about this homo.
Mel Gibson.
Let's
one of
talk
the worst
about
Scottish
aliens and off-world anti-aircraft the Pentagon claims to have possession of, boys. And that is right. There was did you guys see that video of the UFO in Queens? Was it Queens or
No.
Bronx or something?
No, it was, where was that? It was
The Hamptons? It was somewhere in
No,
New
it's
York.
Jersey.
Jersey.
It was Jersey.
Jersey.
Ah, Jersey,
It was
yeah.
Jersey. Do you
Yeah,
think
Jersey,
aliens exist?
Jersey, you fucking cocksucker.
Yes or no?
There's a Jersey UFO? Cool.
There was. And there was like 3 or 4 different people had videos of it.
That's a Jersey
I think-
response. How much family you got in Jersey? 'Cause that's the only way you respond that way, huh? There's a Jersey UFO. That's cool.
That's
pretty-
the
it
part
was
that's cool. Yeah,
Jeff
I
said
totally
that was
disrespect-
payback for Sean
where
Connery
was
doing
it?
a
I
Russian
think my
accent in
mother
Hunt for
stays
Red
up towards Warwick. My mother's up towards the Turnpike. Where,
your
where-
mother?
No, it's by
where
my
was it?
cousins.
I think she probably
Your
saw
mother.
it from a patio.
My cousin's UFO.
Oh, here's my cousin's UFO.
Aliens exist, yes or no? UFOs, yes
I
or
think
no?
statistically, like aliens have to exist. UFOs.
Do you think
jury's,
that
jury's out.
do you think we've had encounters of the 19th kind?
Encounters.
I'm skeptical.
You're
Yes.
skeptical. Okay,
I'm not saying no though.
okay, you're saying yes, definitely aliens.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Definitely UFOs.
We have UFOs.
I don't think
we
there's
have
an argument.
aliens. We have all
Radio
of that.
Vegas Rocks Rob Riggle. Go.
I do not think that there's an argument that anybody can make for there not being UFOs, because the definition of a UFO is an unidentified flying object.
Good point.
So I don't think anybody's out there going, "Hey, are there UFOs?" Well,
there's certainly
Krista
stuff we
Harris
can't
says
you ever get
identify.
one of
aliens?
those squigglies in the
Yeah.
side of your eye, and you're like, "Hey, what up, squiggly?" That's
sure.
a UFO.
For sure.
You know what
Krista
actually
Harris,
that is? It's
Chris
actually,
Harris says who had aliens on their bingo card for 2020.
by
Where's
the
the
one.
squiggly?
By the one.
Yeah.
Fun side play for you guys. The little squiggly that you get at the corner of your eye.
Yeah.
It's actually dust on your retina, and the reason why you
Ew.
can never look directly at it is by the time your eye adjusts to look directly at it, your eye is actually cleaning the
So
part that
all
has.
it is dust in the wind.
It's dust in your retina, in your peripheral retina. Yeah, and yeah. So I just ruined any kind of fun you had with that squiggly. And
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
my
hold
buddy.
on.
Side
I want you,
conversations
Rob.
you
I want
had.
you to read my shirt. This will tell you what I think about aliens.
Get in, loser. We're doing butt stuff. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
I had the right camera angle for that. Luckily,
Stuff.
Yeah.
I want to believe.
I think I don't think
That's the only reason I'm interested in getting abducted.
I mean,
butt
100%.
stuff, for sure.
I mean,
Totally.
if you tickle my balls at the same time, I'm sold.
Yeah.
How
I'm
are you with
sold.
hot stuff?
Can you put hot shit in your mouth?
You guys,
Yeah.
we're in the final 2
Phil,
minutes.
are you
Yes, we're
threatening
good.
me with a good time?
We're almost done.
Do you want to put a spicy jelly bean in your mouth?
I am not scared of shit, so yes.
Okay, do you want the hottest, the middle, or the weakest?
Are you guys ready to watch me die?
Yes.
I suck at hot shit, but
Okay.
I do not ever turn down a challenge, so I'm basically cornered here.
You have a choice. You could do sriracha, jalapeno, cayenne, habanero, or Carolina Reaper. I'm going to let you choose.
Wait, whoa. I heard Reaper there.
Yes.
I thought we were talking about like burger flavored fucking
No,
jelly beans.
no.
Shit.
Eddie Russell
What?
wants this shirt. I know you do.
I know you do.
Thank you, Mad Cow. Thank you.
Eddie wants that shirt?
Yes, he does.
Mean Girls, Aliens
That's because
reference.
Eddie loves butt stuff.
I still believe
Ask
Earth
his
is a far
husband,
more
Brian.
advanced race's 8th grade science project.
All
You
right.
gotta see.
Oh, man.
So which one are you gonna do?
You know, I'll give you some justice, and I'll try to meet you in the middle with Cayenne.
Okay, let's do it.
I'd be lying if I said I would not probably be in serious
wanna try the Cayenne?
agony.
No, I don't.
Wait, am I the only one doing? Hang on.
I'm gonna try Cayenne.
Hey, this is a setup. This is.
One cayenne bean. You don't have to. You don't have to swallow it. You
Yeah,
can
don't
just chew it a little
swallow.
bit.
Oh, it's a bean.
It's
That's
a
what
jelly
she
bean.
said.
Can I snort it?
Yeah.
If you. Bro, that's all.
I don't
do.
see a polar bear holding it, so I don't see why not.
Do it.
All right, I'm gonna put it in my mouth now too. Okay, ready? Let's do this
That's what
before we
she
leave.
said.
Go.
All right. While they do that, I'd like to tell everybody thank you for
Right,
watching. Thank you for listening to Two Clueless Dudes. We are Mad Mike and the Hank with special
bailed.
guest
He bailed. I'm actually.
Rob.
I'm actually in the win. I'm gonna win this one, huh? You didn't even get it through.
Oh, dude, I can't.
Are you gonna
I think
swallow?
top ramen is spicy.
Are you gonna swallow?
I mean, they always do, so why shouldn't I?
Do it, baby. Do it.
So the video feed is still going to watch you guys suffer.
I'm actually trying to do my best to like make it like.
Thank you, everybody.
I cut the
Goddamn,
radio
that
station time for the next show to take over, but
Yeah.
your video feed is still showing
I
you
want to
suffering.
I want to thank all my video supporters, all the people on Facebook
Can we
Live,
get our picks in?
YouTube. We're gonna go ahead and get our picks in. Go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and when this show ends, we're gonna go ahead and post all of our picks on our Facebook page, Two Clueless Dudes. You can also find us at twocluelessdudes.com. We are also on RadioVegas.rocks, but definitely go to our Facebook page, like the page, and get some cool stuff. A lot of cool information.
Let it be known that Rob did finish the habanero bean.
He did.
While Mike spit it out almost instantly. It was the
cayenne.
first thing he spit out bean size since
I
Joe
was
was in
told
his
by
mouth.
Jeff. I was told this by Jeff to just chew and then spit. So that's what I do.
Wow. Jeff, you're over here giving a cop out. I'm over here holding myself accountable.
Bro, I can't do. I think beef ramen is spicy.
You think pepper is spicy? God, you're white.
Dude, I'm so white.
Who let this guy in?
Yeah. Casper hands me suntan lotion.
All right, check us out. We'll be back next Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Thank you, everybody who tuned in. I really appreciate it.
Jeffrey Epstein did not